This is the Hills Footy League Match of the Day.
Yes, good afternoon everyone. Jeff Pistola and the Hills Footy Media team welcoming you into the Call of the Wild. And well, the big dance is getting closer, and Matt the Roadie has transported the Dreammaker van out to Echunga Oval for the Hills Football League Division 1 A-grade preliminary final between Hahndorf and Blackwood. Great that you join us again on our worldwide streams through the support of our wonderful broadcast partners, Sports Interactive, Dartfish, Mortgage Choice, Jarrett, Nissan, Adelaide Star Buses, Business Plaza and Chris Shaw Accounting. And big thanks to Solar Wholesalers, who are our match day sponsor this afternoon. And also a big thanks to the Echunga Football Club for their hospitality and assistance, and particularly to Catherine Ozalekna for her, as I said, assistance in helping us set us up. So, well, final ticket to the 2020 Grand Final up for grabs today is either the Magpies or the Woodsmen advance through. And who would have thought that was the scenario a couple of weeks ago? But as I say, funny can be... Footy's a funny game, and speaking of fun, we have all the humorous people here this afternoon. Shane Collins, welcome.
Yeah, good on you, Pistols. Thanks. Lovely to be here. And
I must admit, Shane, we're a bit down on numbers today because a few of our members are up there in the corporate area.
No, it's the A-team, mate.
We have the A-team.
We got rid of the loose wheels.
The hard-working A-team.
Yep.
And good to have you on board. And, well, pleasure to welcome back into the Call of the Wild, coming off the interchange bench, past Loberthal champion and wandering Metro Retro superstar, the great man himself, Mitchy Weeks. G'day, Mitch.
Afternoon, Pistols. Thanks for having me, mate.
Well, always good to have you here, mate.
Looking forward to a good afternoon of footy. It looks like Hahndorf have just got over the line in the twos. Commiserations to Onkers. Did it reasonably easy in the end, so maybe a little bit of foresight for what's to happen later on.
And speaking of Hahndorf, we've been lucky enough to be joined here by a couple of our past premiership players. Obviously not out there today for varying reasons. Well, the great man, and belated happy birthday to the big man, Darcy Hurricane. G'day, Darcy.
G'day, boys. Thanks for having me.
And Lukey Roberts.
G'day, Pistols. G'day, Mixie. How you going?
Very good. Well, obviously, Darcy, you had a different coloured strip on this season. But for you, Lukey, employment situation in the fire brigade, going to save the city?
Yeah, that's it, mate. Looking forward to it.
So, now looking on from the outside, obviously you're not playing this year, Lukey. Just a bit of an insight in Hahndorf. Darcy, when it came to finals, meant business. So last week, if you'd been playing that side, it would have been a bit of a, say, the kick in the guts, poke the bear to lose.
Yeah, definitely poking the bear there. Obviously, well done to Loberthal for coming up and coming to the game and beating them. I think they hadn't lost a game for 43 games, so to know that they're beatable was, for the HFL's sake, I think it was great to see Loberthal get up. Yeah, they're a great side, and today I think they're going to come out really firing, and Blackwood hopefully are ready for what they're going to come in the first 10 minutes, I think, mate. So
both you boys have been part of 35 of those, if I'm correct. You haven't played this year, have you?
No, I haven't played at all this year.
So 35, 35 unbeaten games for you boys.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, that is great. But
so
it's got Creek College of Maths, mate.
Yeah, I was good at English, not maths, mate.
pretty dominant run, lads. Obviously, what changes, I guess, come finals time for the footy club? Is it strictly business all year round, or does something click finals time? Give us an insight to pre-game.
I personally, mate, I think it's just being lucky enough to run out every Saturday with your mates, and obviously, through the season they've been very successful, and then finals time I think it goes up a nudge. Like, I think a few boys out there be real nervous now, even being Hahndorf now, as strong as they are, and a great bunch of blokes they are. I still think they'll be nervous coming into finals. Personally?
Yeah, I think obviously over the last 5 years we've played 5 grand finals in a row. There's a lot of experience there, so I think a lot of us know, well, obviously not me this year, but going into the finals, we kind of know what to expect. So obviously they were a bit off last week, but yeah, I mean, they have won 44 games in a row, so you got to lose one eventually, but yeah, I think they'll be on today.
And obviously, Lukey, one of the sides, apart from last week, the great Tiger effort, Blackwood were the last side to beat them in the final. Any final, yeah, the grand final.
Oh, right.
2017,
yes,
which you remember well, and your mate
2017 grand final, yes. I think the boys will still have that in the back of their minds. So, especially Matty Yench, he always brings that up during training and pre-season. So, I think he will be revving everyone up today, bringing that back up. So I think the boys will be firing.
So the captain's just gathering in the middle. Ryan Dykesman for Blackwood, and of course Dylan Madsen. Michael Board's favourite footballer. He reckons he's the Adonis, as you know. He just loves him when he's oiled up.
I think he's sitting next to me.
Yeah. He's a great man. He's Dylan Madsen.
And looks like Hahndorf will kick towards the primary school end in the opening too. So quickly, boys, before we let you go and enjoy the festivities and the carry on for the birthdays there, Das.
Yeah.
Who wins and why? Obviously.
Hahndorf by, I reckon, 6 goals. I think they'll come out with
Prove
a bit
a point.
a bit of a point to prove after last week. But yeah, good luck to any team today and go the Rams.
Yeah, I think the boys are going to over the line comfortably, but yeah.
Good on you.
luck to
Hey,
them.
and just quickly, Das, any news from Fritz Park, out there at Nand, re-signed or? Any news, any scoops you can drop in the call of the wild?
Look,
Put him on the spot here, Pistols.
let's just say, I didn't think I looked good in maroon and white, but it's grown on me, and you'll see me out there next year in the
Well
maroon and
put,
white.
mate. Well put.
Well put, I love it. Very good. All right, boys, thank you very much. As I said, we've seen you out here a number of times on this very arena, displaying the goods on the big dance day, but unfortunately you won't be there, but no doubt you'll be there in spirit and beers.
2022.
Thanks, boys.
Thanks for having us,
on you,
boys.
lads.
Thanks for
you.
joining us on the Call of the Wild. Two great footballers there, Mitchy Weeks. No doubt you've probably had in the past locked horns with them.
Yeah, two greats of the competition the last few years. Two big boys too. Obviously the benchmark. So good to have them on, get their insight. Just quickly, Pistols, what is your tip for the day? We don't often get one from you, and I know you like to be a little bit objective. So do you have a winner for us?
Well, I got here last time they played, actually, back in round two. Yeah, it was 61 points, plays 25, so probably not one of the lowest margins that Hahndorf had in this shortened season. I just think, as the boys said, perhaps poking the bear a bit last week. Blackwood were very good, both times we've seen them in the finals, Mitchy. Been impressed with their run and carry, just whether they can hold up in the pack. So they were very aggressive around the packs last week. So, look, you got to favour Hahndorf, as the boys said. 1 loss in 44 games isn't too bad, but if Blackwood bring that intensity towards them, could be an upset. But I think Hahndorf, Dar said 6, yes, I think conservatively 6 might be the margin. But anyway, Shane Collins, any thoughts before the bounce?
Yeah, really looking forward to this contest, Jeffrey. Once again, for me, I'm putting the focus on the midfield. Really want to see that midfield battle. We saw Blackwood really take it to the doggies last week with some strength and physicality around the footy, and let's hope they can bring that today. You know, Benson, Spawn, Catford, those guys through the midfield. Tuck's speed is going to be important, and McCready and his ability to win the footy in contests and push forward and kick goals. But they're up against the dinosaurs of the competition, if you like, and I think the bear might be poked, and I'm tipping Hahndorf today.
All right, we're underway. Preliminary final, Division 1 football. Trust you're enjoying on our hillsfooty.com worldwide. First bounce, Daniel Roberts back in the side. Got it down, Yarn Wall, but his opponent took the ball to ground level. Kept in there. Finally, Sam Williams gets the first kick of the match towards half forward. Coming to meet is Babbage. He's taking the ground. Good tackle applied there by Bricknell, I think it was. Ball goes to ground. In fact, it was Bennett's. And Matty Waldron back in the side this afternoon to bolster the Blackwood defence. One change. Young Pendles McCormick is out with injuries, but Waldron coming in to boost that defence. Comes out here to Johnson, who was so busy this week. Last week got it to McCready. McCready's handball was locked up there at ground level by Madsen, and already, you can tell a pretty tough approach here, Mitchy Weeks, as both sides early nerves in the preliminary final and just want to get rid of that.
Hot footy early, Pistols, you're not wrong. As it comes down to Sam Hill, gives a handball out to his teammate. Ball's locked up in a 50-50. I think Hankin wrapping him up half forward. Probably 5 metres in from the boundary as there's a little bit of goings on off the ball, which is good to see.
So the officiating umpires this afternoon, Robbie Tanner, Colo's favourite umpire, Reece Williams and Andrew Lawless as the ball across here. Corridor finally kicked forward there by Jaron Mail, bouncing ball through for the first score of the game. A minor one to Hahndorf as they kick towards the primary school end of Echunga Oval, and Blackwood kicking against a slight breeze there up towards the golf course end. Mitchy, you a bit of a golfer, mate? Played Royal Echunga in your time?
Yeah, certainly have, mate. Love a hit of golf, especially in this weather.
So Bricknell brings it back in for the Pies, so for the Woods. High leap there, ball comes to ground. Taken away here by Spawn. The picture man gets up here across to McCready. They're out here. Handball's further into the coach and Anderson bouncing ball. He gathers outside 50. It's a short booming pass there. That was meant for a lead there of ace, but chopped off there by Scotty Perling.
A stallion takes intercept mark as he's been known for the last few years. The veteran now out of the back half. Kicks a long footy, almost to centre wing. The two ruckmen go at it. No winners there. Ball comes to ground. And we're going to have a stalemate again. I think we are.
He's letting it flow, isn't he? Rolling scrums. It's surely in the end. Yes, he does.
Just a big contest that I think is huge for Blackwood today is Hopton on Perling. Perling's the best centre-half back in this comp for the last 10 years. Hopton's really got to come to the party today.
And we've talked about he needs to take a few clunkers, and also Ace coming in with a little bit of a hamstring strain.
A little bit.
We saw that last Sunday. Ball comes in to Madsen, holds up the handball, then sweeps it. Intercepted here, taken by May.
Great
Mail
give.
got it back to Madsen, good hands. Got it back to Trent. Mail puts it out towards our broadcast side, towards the pavilion side. Leading the
Good
race is Sam Hill, who's coming to the side late. Replacement for one of our favourites. It was Jarrett Mail, the comb-over man out today, Colo.
Yes, the comb over there. Bit unfortunate training incident.
Yes, couldn't brush off an injury. So Ruckjewel, Roberts and
Boom, boom.
Warbert come down here to Williams. Was he taking eyes? It's like
Might be a
bulldogging
headlock.
style.
That's okay.
Maribel Rodeo, that one, Mitchie. It's a line ball decision, says the umpire. Umpire setting it up again. Warbert backed over the track towards McCready. He sought to get the handball out, but taken by Hayden. Got it back to Williams. Williams with a high kick towards half forward. Target back there is Babbage. Ball bouncing, Babbage looms, but taken here by Hill, is it?
Certainly is, and he's finished from the pocket. Great kick finish there, Sammy Hill. And the Pies off to a hot start.
So good work there, Colo. And as you said,
Yeah, it
important-
was. Just once again, what we spoke about just briefly before, off the stoppage, Blackwood are really going to be tested in that area today and weren't quite good enough there. Williams, who's one of the most underrated players in the Magpies outfit, again with another clearance from a stoppage and set up that forward thrust and resulting goal. So really important that Blackwood get on top around the stoppages.
So 4 minutes gone to preliminary final. It's Hahndorf 1-1. Blackwood yet to get on the board here at Echunga Oval. Said trust you enjoying. Daniel Roberts, so important to have him back in the side. Bouncing ball taken by
Wide.
Jaron Mail. Feeds it back to Hayden. Hayden caresses the ball forward to Eckerman. Eckerman, who was down a little bit last week, but certainly started well here. Puts it forward. Out in the lead was Cooper Nykamp at full stretch. Mitchie Weeks and takes a very good mark.
Handy mark. And just quickly, a couple of their local boys have started very hot. As Colo touched on, Sam Williams has had a hot start, but Jaron Mail equally as good. Just playing off the half-forward line there by the looks. A crucial take and then release and sets up this shot at goal.
So Nykamp, 21 goals for the season so far. Leans back in that pocket. It's gone across the face. Off hands by the looks through for a minor score. So Hahndorf 1-2. Woods yet to score.
The other thing that's great for the Pies today, and we just seen it in that centre stoppage, Dan Roberts back in the ruck. He got over the top there. One thing that they've lacked over the last couple of weeks is his dominance around stoppages.
And the man we spoke about during the week, Colo, Troy Parker Bowles, still out with a finger injury, I believe. Here's Cheney out there. First look at him this afternoon, got his hands so it couldn't complete the mark and carried over the line in front of a well-populated members side, I guess you'd call it, here at Echunga Oval, because 2,000 people allowed into the ground this afternoon. So good to see a good crowd here at country football. So throw in. Roberts, Warbert, taken by McCready, wrapped up in the tackle, comes out here towards Leake. Leake gets a handball trying to find Hayden, but right in the interchange gate area. Ball goes over the line, so the academy boundary boy will come in and pitch the ball back in. So just hit 5.5 minutes. 1-2, Hahndorf, Blackwood yet to score. Ruckman do the battle, comes down here. Tucker was so good last week, got it back here to Rivermore. High kick, bouncing ball. Dykesman looming out, but also was Mail. Got it back here to Eckerman. He goes backwards here to a teammate. Around the corner was Hopgood. Drives it forward. Here's Nykamp again. Oh, big contest there. Get here, a crash of bodies from here. Finally, the ball fed out here. And a clearing kick from Woods out in the Flaxley side wing. Once again, Perling getting involved. Mail, Trent Variety brings it back inside 50 for the Pies. Bouncing ball, grabbed by his brother, Jarrett.
Just a big well done to Rivermore there. He back into that pack, got smashed, got back onto his feet and then ended up clearing the footy. But some really good courage by the Blackwood defender.
So what's going on here? The ball's sitting out there on its own. It's,
Get
is
some
it a
bacon,
boundary?
mate.
Is it a boundary showing or what?
Yeah,
Must have been close to boundary, yes, or is it a free kick? Looks like it is the academy boy. One of the most experienced. Your man, James O'Leary, he's done about 300. He's more than an academy boy. He's a veteran.
he is a veteran.
Good throw in here. As you said, Pistols. Ruckman do battle. Comes down. once again, it's a 50-50 ball on the ground, taken by Benson. Handball out towards the boundary, pinched by Matson. He kicks inside 50. Good contest. Males there. Hot footy right in front of goal. Gets it up, snaps over his shoulder. Has he got it on the left? No, just sprays it to the far side. It's a hot footy early, as we've been mentioning. Is the wind doing anything out there, Colo?
No, there's not too much to speak of at the moment. It was certainly up a little bit earlier in the day, but it's sort of quietened it out now, and the predicted pouring rain and windy conditions must have gone south, I think.
You're pretty happy about that because we know
I'm
where
wrapped.
you'd be.
I'm
Bretnell
wrapped.
takes the mark from the kick out, just used his body against Matson, who started pretty well today to skipper. So Bretnell out in the Flaxley wing area. Out there, I think it's McCready in the distance. Very picturesque setting here, Mitchie. The cows in the paddock over there on the hill, etc. Bouncing ball. Anderson tried to gather it. Leake got a quick handball. Wow, great pick up at ground level for a big man by Babbage. Flicks it across the underrated Williams. Gets a high kick towards half forward. It's all Blackwood back to, spilling the mark was Bennett. Backed up there by a teammate who is taken to ground. So, yeah, a bit of a let-off there.
Yeah, just a half opportunities Blackwood must take on. And same with that ball that went forward. That needed to find a chest for him.
Yeah, man, Salt involved there. Here's Hayden. He's been good already. Got it back to Madsen, who probably would have about 4 or 5 possessions already. And I tell you what, that's not a bad one, Mitchie Weeks, as he's put their second goal on the board for Hahndorf. 8 minutes gone.
Great little bender left to right in congestion, and it just did enough to sneak in. Yeah, as Colo said, it's just those half chances slightly missed by the Woods so far. Maybe a little bit of perceived pressure from Hahndorf. Their pressure's been good all around the ground.
Yeah,
so
good call.
I think they need a steady soon. Obviously, hoping to get the quick start, but that's gone the opposition's way. Going to be hard to stop Hahndorf if they can get the next one.
And, of course, we've got Jaden and Indy lurking today as well. So
Lurking.
We'll
The
get
boys are
them
lurking. Look at 'em.
lurking around the pads down there. So we'll get down to them soon with some stats. Ball come down, Matt Roberts in ruck. Unusual to see Matt Roberts actually in a short-sleeved Guernsey because we had his brother on earlier, Luke, of course not playing this year due to fire brigade opportunities. So Roberts got it down, taken by Madsen, who's been a power, already got onto a barrier to barrel there, up towards Nykamp's ball spills down. Bennett's arrives, also at ground level, looked like it was Bricknell. Umpire comes in and says no prize, so a ball up will take place some 40 metres out from the Hahndorf goal.
Ball comes down. Good ruck tap there for the Woods. Running onto it, gives a handball now. Benson runs into some traffic via Hankin. Ball comes out. Males always pushing the back, surely. Yes. Umpire says yes. He plays on that trusty left. Quick entry again. Takes it deep to the goal square. Who's home? No one. And it's a good mark taken down there by Dunn, I think it is. And he goes short to Bricknell. Bricknell now in the pocket. Centering ball. Pistols.
Yep, taken out by Tuck, Matty Tuck, who was very good last week, high in their best players. Actually, he's had a pretty good all-round final series. The Fryer, so nurses up the wing. He's got a lead out there in the distance. I think this is Mo Milson. So in his second game in the finals, came in last week, held his spot. So Milson along the Flaxley outer wing, drives it up forward. Trying to work his way to the front was Hopton. Follows up there. Bit of an arm wrestle there. Umpire calls, umpire Tanner, I think it is in the distance, calls a stalemate. So ball uptake, virtually in the wing area. So Matt Roberts arrives. Warburton got the ball down, then got another bite of the cherry. Takes a opponent to ground. Ball comes out here to Tuck once again. Clever, raises the eyes and shoots it up and finds the picture show man in Spawn.
Spawn now, it looks forward, assesses his options. He's at centre wing, kicks to half forward now, looking for Hopton, but Cheney's there and takes a good intercept mark under some, well, pretty gentle pressure now. And he's having a look inboard here. They've been aggressive so far, the Pies, not being afraid to take on the corridor. Instead, opts to go down the boundary. Big contest here. Waldron gets the fist. Ball's come down to Bricknell now. Handball out towards the boundary. Eckerman's there. Still up for grabs. And, yeah, just struggling to find some clean footy at the moment, Blackwood. Hahndorf, once they get their hands on it, hanging on to it. But Blackwood just maybe need to just call the contest and hold on to the footy a little bit.
So throwing Warbett versus M. Roberts. Warbett got the ball down and follows up at ground level, the big man. Rucking and roving here, versatile player, Mitchie, as it goes to go, a bit like yourself.
Not through lack of effort with him. He's a trier all day.
So throw up once again. Warbett involved. This time goes to ground. Looks like McCready trying to bundle his way forward. Umpire close on the spot says no. Once again, ball held in. So 11.5 minutes gone, boys. It's Hahndorf 2-3, letting Blackwood yet to get on the score. Here's a chance. It's taken off the pack well by McCready. Tries to go Blackwood back with a handball. Finally comes to Jimmy Catford. High kick forward. Getting back there is Maucho, who was a late inclusion into the side after Ingram pulled out. And out over the line, just on the 50-metre line. So Blackwood really have had about one entry. I think Shane Collins inside their 50 so far.
Yeah, and it hasn't been that clean as yet. And as Weeksy just said, they've got to get hold of the footy and control it a little bit better, giving themselves some scoring opportunities.
So ball held in, there's a chance. Maucho getting involved. Ricochets out of the leaky, goes to the ground and a good tackle. Finally comes back here to Jensch. It'll be his first kick for the game. High kick towards half forward. There's Salt and Pepper. Gets his hands to the ball. Salt follows it up. He's got support there.
Great give.
From a teammate by Hill, I think. Sorry, Nykamp. Ball forward. There's a chance lumbering out is Babbage. Also a Bricknell, and the ball carries over the boundary line.
We actually spoke about it in the midweek show this week. Blackwood's ability to score against Hahndorf has been really poor in recent times. And once again, we're just seeing Hahndorf's backline really control any ball that comes into their area. So Blackwood have really got to get on top of that.
So throw in. Bennett's flicked it over the back. Bouncing ball out wide. Hahndorf there. Just got the runner or the walker, Colo and Dave Richardson in my way. I couldn't see around him. It's like the sight screen in Adelaide Oval there.
The legend he is.
Yeah, great man, Dave Richardson. So once again, ball up. High leap by Salt. Ball comes down. Scrambled by the boundary line. Looked like Catford diving under top as well. Rolling scrum. It comes out eventually for Hahndorf. Gathered here. Centering ball across here. Oh,
Lovely
that's great
kick.
vision. And I think it's, once again, the drink runner in the way. It's Eckerman who's drifted down from his defensive post. So he will have a shot, I'd say a rare shot on goal here, Mitchy Weeks for the season. So
He's on his opposite wing too, so he's managed to find some space and capitalise, and that's just pure confidence from the Magpies. When you're up and about and you've been dominant for so long, you have that freedom. So he strolls in
I think
here
it might have
now.
been possibly Babbage with that good work to send to the ball. So
That's a
Eckerman
good-looking
towards
kick.
the primary school end. He's read that very nicely. So the Pies, they're third on the ball as we come at the 14-minute mark. They're 3-3 and Blackwood yet to get on the board, Shade. So any chance of early alarm bells ringing?
No, we spoke about that too, didn't we? We thought Blackwood really need to get out of the blocks and put the doubts in the Maggies' minds, but that hasn't happened. The Pies have started exceptionally well. Their pressure around the footy's been excellent. Dan Roberts has been super strong, not only in the contest but on the deck with his tackling, and their midfield dominance is giving their forwards good looks.
So umpire Lawless puts it up. Daniel Roberts back
Great
on the ball.
tap.
Got the tap down to Handby. First time we've seen him this afternoon. High kick towards the half-forward flank area. Salt was up. Good defensive spoil there by Waldron back in the Woodside this afternoon. Ball bounces out right in front of the canteen area here at Echunga Oval. As assistant coach Salivic and Daniel Benson there just having a bit of a chat. Salivic traffic cop there just organising the players. Meanwhile back on the field, ball comes down here, Leak with a wide handball, finds Babbage. Oh, it just doesn't come back as the breeze took it away. So Hahndorf certainly peppering the goals at the moment, Mitchy Wicks. 3-4 plays no score, 15 minutes gone, Shane Collins.
Yeah, that stoppage there, an interesting, Hahndorf have always had the ability, they sit forward to the ball because they know they're going to win it. That's where they got exposed last week by the Loberthal Tigers. They didn't often win the stoppage. So even though that was a shot on goal, I reckon it's a play that they need to try and get out of their game a little bit. Don't sit forward and be too overconfident about winning the stoppage.
Very good call there, Colo. You saw that last week, and in the fourth quarter, when Golding told them to take it on, they did win the contest. They can be so destructive,
Yep.
but if they're not getting first hand to the footy, it can hurt you.
And Brickner with the ball because saw his partner in crime, former in defence, Kurt Thompson's here this afternoon.
Great grab.
Great grab taken by Waldron, as he said, back in the side this afternoon. Waste no time, chips up line, but there's Jensch intercepting, taking a good defensive mark. So the former Adelaide Crow and Sturt player sends it back from whence it come. Pack gathers again, good defensive spoil there by Bricknell. Ball comes to the ground, close to the line, pursuing it was Jarrett and Mail, but over the boundary line. So not bad conditions here, as we mentioned before. Colo looks pretty good out there.
Sensational. I looked at the forecast this morning and thought about flicking you a text about being a late scratching, so I'm wrapped with the conditions.
The sore throat would have come to play, no doubt. So, ruck till taken by Williams, gives it off the run of Madsen. Oh, he's hit the post, but another opportunity there. Could have been a early, pressure applied, but minor score. So 3-5.
Smashing him off stoppages.
Yep.
Absolutely.
The
Dan
likes
Roberts,
of Madsen.
Yes,
dominant.
Williams.
Roberts.
We talked about what a
Andy.
valuable player he is and how they missed him last week. Certainly making an impact this week.
Big Dan.
So the ball come back into Waldron. Holds up in the breeze. Geez. Poor old Warbert down about 4 Magpies to beat. They brought the ball to ground level. Obviously aware of his aerial skills. Ball's locked up in there. No, it flies out, but in the end, the umpire comes in, will ball it up half forward flank area. And Mitchie Weeks come out at 17 minutes. Hahndorf 3-5. Woods yet to score.
As Matson picks up from the stoppage to Hamby. High ball inside 50. Who's under it? Looks like Sultan Waldron will do battle. And
Free.
Waldron, it is a free kick.
Kick.
Yeah. He did have him wrapped up, but it
He's
looked like
claiming
they
he
were
was
both
grabbed. It's
holding.
a bit of each way there.
He's not happy, but that's the nature of the beast. You get in front and you get rewarded. And yes, it just looks like if Hahndorf aren't winning the footy, they're certainly making a stalemate of it. But more often than not, they're winning the footy at the moment as Salt strolls in and kicks an absolute gimme. Make sure of it. And look out, Blackwood. It's certainly not the start they were after. And they've got some work to cut out for them here. Centre clearances have been absolutely dominated here by the Magpies. So,
And of course, grand final day up there at Kersbrook, and we just tell you a couple of the earlier results. Birdwood won the mini Colts, 7-1 Mount Barker 2-5-2. Meadows kicked the last 3 goals of the match against Ironbank to win the junior Colts, and the Bridgie Raiders, Colo 9-9 beat Birdwood 4-4. So the Raiders consecutive reserves flags in country division before they climb up next year to Div 1. So something to build on. So back in the centre here at Echunga, it's a Division 1 preliminary final action. Ball locked up in there. Looks like it was Daniel Benson and also Leek. So the umpire will come in and once again ball up. Virtue still in the centre of the ground. Roberts with a big leap. Warbert got the tap though. First to get to be tuck. Here's a chance for the Woods to do something. Goes forward and finds Troy Hocking. Hocking goes long and towards he's out on his own. Was he pushed? No, said the umpire. Ball bounces clear, taken by the Stallion. The Goat nurses the bite line in Purling and finds a teammate out there in Leek, I think it is Jacob Leek.
Leek off half back here. Assesses his options, looks in border, elects to go down the line again. Centre wing, kicks there, Waldron and Salt again. No winners there, it comes over the back. Blackwood do well to stop the momentum of the footy. Now that comes out, Williams on the end of a handball, goes back, looks like Hankin, inboard to Matson, his captain. Steadies, no, handballs, Yench on that long foot, chips this one forward, Sam Hill looks like uncontested.
Hill who kicked the first goal of the game in the 3-minute mark, so then Yench advised him to loose options, but Hill coming back and obviously said, I'll have a crack at this. So the wind seems to be strengthening a little bit out here, Colo.
Let me just take a couple of little sneaky steps out, mate.
You might have to go and get the cardigan on.
No, there's not a lot in it, buddy.
As he comes in, Sam Hill, kicked from about 45, I'd say. Very deliberate approach. Strolls in. It looks good at the left-hand goalpost and there's no problem there. So, makes no mistake and...
Righto, I'm calling it. I reckon Golding starting writing notes for the Lobie game already. This one... how far in are we, Pistols?
Just about 20 minutes gone to first term.
She's just about done, mate.
4-5-0.
9 scoring shots
brave,
to 0.
Brave call there, Mitchie Weeks, but he is the astute man.
Funny things have happened. It's that time of the year where anything
sure you haven't
can
done
happen.
a Bill Collins there on Kingston Town.
Yeah, I've gone early, but I reckon I've gone with good confidence here. I just can't. Blackwood are just, unfortunately, not in the game here at all, and Hahndorf have been completely dominant in all areas, as this little baby over here thinks and supports me with.
Anderson moved up to a wing, so trying to get some senior heads around the footy here as he throws it up. Roberts down. Benson and Yench do battle. And it looks like there'll be a free kick going Benson's way. Yep, just hanging on to him there. So they'll get a clearance here. What can they do? Can he get it forward quickly? No. Hahndorf are back there setting up. Looks out wide. Jeez, it just looks like they're not in sync at the moment as he goes short to tuck. Now they're building. Can they break a line? He's... goes wide. Oh dear, that's a direct turnover. Sam Hill now takes the mark and they'll reset Pistols.
He's having a pretty good game for a late inclusion. Mitchie's kicked 2 goals and chopping off balls. Comes back here to River Moore. Gets it up towards McCready, who was so good last week. Takes a tumbling mark in front of Maucho. So as Mitchie Weeks said, they need to manufacture something. Gets it up here. Sandwich there was hot. The ball comes to the ground. Here's Yench. Flicks out the back to Sperling. The Goat gets it clear. Big Daniel Roberts slumbers towards the ball. Taps it intelligently forward. Intercepting those Bricknell for the Woods. Bit of sidestep there, got it here to Liam McCarthy, goes bang long. out of bounds.
First time we've seen Ash moving. He moved okay there.
Yeah, apparently didn't tear it. Obviously just strained it a bit, Shane, last week. But
7 days is always enough with a strained hammy, isn't it?
well, I don't know. You'd be the expert at that. Ball cut. Hopton took it out of ruck.
Never
it
ran
out here.
fast enough, mate.
Got it out of Benson on the end of it from Spawn.
Here he is.
And in the pocket is the man you just mentioned. You know, you think he'd know how to kick a goal at this ground, Mitchie Weeks. Of course, the leading goal kicker with 40 for the season.
I saw him kick a bag at 12, I reckon, against us here one day, and absolutely dominated. And I've also seen him kick
How
them
many
from harder
how many
angles
kick-offs
than
they
this.
put you onto him?
Oh, mate, I was
Oh, you were
nowhere
the
near
first
him.
victim,
I
were
was
you?
staying well away. I was staying well away.
So, Joel H, first year of Blackwood. He's in the preliminary final. So, towards the golf course end.
He likes
Tell
it.
you what, that is a brilliant
Lovely kick of the
conversion.
footy.
Local knowledge, I'd suggest,
I was
says
going
St
to say,
Collins.
he's had a few shots here, hasn't he, over his career?
So at the 22-minute mark, they finally get on the board. So 5 plays, 1 straight. And we might take the opportunity to go down to Indy for the first time this afternoon. Indy Rogers, the 500 man, and no doubt the stats heavily in favour of the Magpies.
Thank you very much, Pistols. That's exactly right. Hahndorf are absolutely smashing them for centre clearances. Only 1 centre clearance for Blackwood in this quarter, not to mention 6 inside 50s. So they've been very lacklustre with their use of the ball going forward, to say the least, and they haven't been able to get it from coast to coast either.
So back in the centre, Daniel Roberts starting to show
Freddie
his
kicks
enrobment of his forward. Oh,
Anderson
taken by
always
Anderson.
swooped on in the
He
back.
was swooped on, yeah, had a bit of push and shove.
Bit
Hopton
of
coming in.
remonstrating there, Pistols. There's a little bit of heat there. There's a big come on from Ash after that goal. So let's see if it can lift his side.
Well, they've got to do something to fire themselves up, that's for sure. Trailing so early. Dykesman, he spun around a couple of times for a good tackle there applied by Hopgood, I think it was. So in the meantime, the umpire will come and ball up. So centre half forward position for Blackwood as they go towards the golf course in the Royal Echunga Club. Trying to bulldoze his way through their Blackwood player. That was actually Hopton. So once again, we'll have a ball up. So 3 consecutive ball ups in about 10 metres. So Hahndorf holding firm at the moment. Ball comes down. Hopton trying to go through again. Taken out by Hopgood. Gets it out towards Hayden. Out towards the Flaxley wing area, but getting back there as usual. Trademark defensive mark taken by Scotty Bricknell.
Not wrong, and now he looks forward. Can he? They're pretty well set up, Hahndorf, so elects to go short, all to a 50-50, and Hahndorf win out through Jarrett Mail. Handball to Cheney, now handball to Hankin, out wide.
Oh,
He gives a dummy, looks inboard, dangerous here, ball here. Matson, now to Hamby. Good names here for the Magpies. Out to Eckerman, can he juggle it? Not quite. Now goes back to Trent Mail. He goes forward, looking for Salt. He's got a few metres on his opponent. Oh, cruel bounce,
played.
did well. Turns him inside out, looks forward. Has he slotted it? He certainly has. Benny Salt continuing his red-hot form from last week, kicks his second, Pistols.
Yeah, fantastic finish. And every time we see him, Colo, he's an excitement machine, isn't he?
Oh, he is a star, and really off the back of some real good development in the last couple of years, he's now coming to the forefront at the Hahndorf Magpies as one of their better players. And every time we see him, I'm just really impressed by the way he goes around it. Always keeps his feet, plays with plenty of class, and just that was seen there with that finish. It was outstanding.
I tell you what, the Blackwood coaching bench just down from us. You've got Matty Thomas there. We've got Kurt Thompson, the injured past captain. Damien Salivic, and of course Dave Richardson there at wit's end at the moment. How do we stop this? But in the meantime, here's Hahndorf with another chance to go further forward. Male getting involved. Ball comes out here towards Hankin. Bouncing ball once again. Bricknell, he's sort of doing it all on his own.
Done well.
Got it back to Milson there. Got a clearing handball out here to Spawn. He runs into big trouble. Big tackle applied by Yench. He goes ground holding the ball. It's the call from the umpire. So Yench will take the resultant free kick. Gets the ball back from skipper Madsen. So Matthew Yench goes long towards the pocket. Nykamp limbering up.
Great
Grabs
grab.
it and then runs off and says, thank you very much. And, well, Shane Collins mightn't be too much wrong with that call earlier because they're just dominating here.
Well, when I said it, the next 3 minutes, Blackwood dominated, so I was a little bit worried there, but they only got the one goal. But Hahndorf is showing their superiority here, and good pressure again by Yench. Win the footy at half forward, and their forward line is too potent at the moment, and that was really well done by young Nykamp.
7-5, Mitchie Weeks to 1 straight.
It's been...
If Rob Sherwood was here early, what do you
singing.
think? Shane, he'd be getting the singing done?
He'd be singing. He'd be nearly in the car, ready to go home.
Pies have got Roberts, Yench, Hamby and Madsen in there. Bit of experience, played a lot of finals footy over the last few years. And as on cue, Roberts taps down. Oh, it gets his own footy. Was it in the back? Umpire said no. But that's just been the tale. If they're not winning it, they're getting a stalemate. And if they're not getting a stalemate, they're winning it at the moment, the Pies.
Yeah, man, Darcy Hurrigan predicted a 6-goal, didn't he, for the Magpies? I think he meant 6 goals in the first quarter.
Time line.
It's going. So 7-5 plays one goal to the Blackwood Football Club. Here's Madsen again getting out Hamby, but McCready beats him to it. Takes it. Eckerman managed to get it back here to Milson. Milson threads through traffic, gets out to Spawn. He's under pressure, but gives it back to Milson, who'll run into trouble. Powers through, gets a hand by the top to Anderson. Can the coach? No, he coughed it up under pressure there. Great tackle applied to him by Trent Mail. Milson again, good follow-up, but he goes to ground. Was he legged? Ooh, I'd like to have a look at that one on Flynn the cameraman. And, of course, happy birthday to Flynn the cameraman today, 19 years young. So, good on him. So, centre forward position taken by Hopton, dispossessed. Having an area in there was McCarthy, I think. So, once again, the ball virtually at the same area as the last ball up. So, umpire Lawless will start play again.
Ball's up. Roberts down to Yench. He's run into trouble. Could have got the footy out now. Comes out in the tackle. Mauchow follows up and wraps up his Blackwood opponent. Yeah, Mo Milson there, 4 or 5 good efforts in a row, the young fella, and showing the older, more experienced Blackwood players how it's done. As it's come down, Madsen there, little toe poke forward, leaks there with Anderson, another fumble from the coach. Mail picks up, out to Eckerman on the trusty right boot. Oh, it's just touched on the line, I think.
Coach Golding nearly got a possession there.
Well, everyone else has had one, so why not share it around?
And nice bun work by the Flaxen Head Academy boys. He pitches the ball in. Matty Roberts got down, stolen by McCready, chugs off in the poke, gives it back to Spawn. He'll go back to Benson. He goes around the invisible man onto his right, puts it up, and that's a good. Puts out the Dukes and Dykesman, who's got to get in the game quickly. Sells a bit of candy as he got around Hopgood. Nurses it to the pocket to McCready, who's run on. So McCready on the left, across the face, a goals bouncing ball. Back there is Leak. Oh, good work as he got it out to Hamby. Coughed up the ball under pressure, taken there by McCarthy. Got it back to Dykesman, spins out, gets it around the corner to a teammate there, had a shot, but through for a minor score. Might have been Johnson, who was so good last week. So 1-1 Blackwood, 7-5 Hahndorf, first term preliminary final.
Trent Mail kicks to centre wing, looking for Babbage. Ball goes over the back here, and the final siren's going to beat it. Quarter time siren's going to beat them anyway. So very, very good start here for the Pies. Look on, as many predicted, come out with a bit of fire in their belly, and it's been all business though, Pistols. They haven't got carried away, and they're just been clinical so far.
Absolutely, and just go through goal kickers. Sammy Hill with 2, Salt with 2, Madsen, Eckerman and Niekamp. So as you called, rightly so, all the big guns getting involved in the first quarter. I think obviously poking the bear situation last week, they knew they were down on their game. That's not taking anything away from the Tigers' effort, that's for sure. So they've come out all guns blazing. No doubt had a bit of a rocket. Don't take anything for granted, and certainly not allowing Blackwood at this stage any real influence in the game.
Well said, mate. Well said. And, of course, coming off a win in their B grade, they got over Onkers quite comfortably in the end. It was a close game up until half-time, so congratulations to the Hahndorf Footy Club on another finals berth in the twos. They've been dominant over both grades. And
Kurt Thompson, of course, now retired Kurt Thompson, who we had early on in the year in Hills Footy Unplugged. What a great football he was, 4 consecutive BNFs. And he must have the defensive group together there, I think.
I think so.
He was him and Matt Thomas, and he's just giving it to him. And you got to feel sorry for Mitch because, as we know, all attacks start up the field, and they're getting killed in the midfield. Be more interested in the midfield discussion there. Pistols have certainly struggled in the midfield, so don't know what they can do to turn it around at the moment. I think, given the previous game, that is the scoring end of the ground, Hahndorf's end. So I'm not sure whether there's anything in that. As Colo said, there's not too much of a breeze, but I think we'll find out a lot in the next 5 minutes. They've had a chance to regroup now, calm down. Right, we're in a prelim final. We're against the benchmark of the competition. Yes, they've got the jump on us. Let's take risks, but let's get our hand on the footy because we need to do that first.
Hillsfooty.com. Proudly brought to you by Mortgage Choice Adelaide Hills in association with HFL Media.
Hi, it's Chris Gowans here, SANFL Hall of Fame member. And you're listening to the Vibe of the Hills Footy on HFL Media.
G'day, this is Tony Modra, and there is always plenty of top marks with the coverage of Hills community football here on HFL Media.
Yes, indeed, you're on HFL Media, coming to you this afternoon from Echunga Oval, the Hills Division 1 preliminary final. Hahndorf taking on Blackwood, and of course after a shock last week, Hahndorf come out all guns blazing there 7-5 to 1-1. So I think the stats will tell heavily in favour of the Magpies, so why not find out as we go down to Indy Rogers, and he's been joined this afternoon for the first time by Jaden J. Hill. So down to you, boys.
Thank you, Pistols. We'll get to Jane in a little bit, but I've got to say, I don't want to cut too deep, and I promise I wouldn't do it for the rest of the season, but that was probably the worst quarter from Blackwood that I've seen this year. There was just no effort in the centre to get those clearances. They only got one centre clearance for the quarter, as we established earlier. But just as well as that, I also feel like their composure from coast to coast wasn't very sharp. I think something a little bit off the stats. Hahndorf were just so flawless in their transition from one end to the other of the ground, and for some reason Blackwood always got stuck up in the middle, and eventually that would lead to some sort of turnover or concession of the ball. But we'll go down to Jaden for some more detailed stats now.
Cheers, thanks Indy. So yeah, Hahndorf were just way too good there around the ball, like Indy said, and just, you know, their inside 50s. At the start, they were pinpointing their players and just too good. Hahndorf really good there. So, and some quarter stats here for you boys. So this is the highest first quarter score for Hahndorf for the year. So 47, 7-5, 47 there for Hahndorf in the first quarter, and it's the third lowest quarter score for Blackwood for the year as well. So yeah, and obviously the last time these two played in a final was in the 2017 grand final where Blackwood won, and also the last time they have not played a final here at Echunga here. So back to you guys.
Thank you very much, Shane. We'll go down to the quarter time huddles and Shane Collins.
Yeah, really interesting at the Blackwood huddle. There was some correspondence coming back from a couple of players about the coaching ability of some of their coaches, which was interesting. And yeah, it wasn't good to watch, to be honest with you, but really interesting. That's where they're at the moment. Coach said they couldn't play any worse, where Hahndorf was very well structured and happy with their energy.
Thank you very much to Shane Collins. So better start for the Woods, says Matt Tuck, drives them forward. They need got a rocket, and they'll have to respond here. Perhaps if they reckon the coaches are bad, the players had better take the game, the responsibility.
You'd think so, wouldn't you?
So bouncing ball, here's Jens on the Flaxley wing. Can he control? He's under pressure there from Hopton, so out of bounds. So questions being asked.
Yeah, it was more sort of around a couple of players were questioning why everything's changed straight away. That's not the plan, etc., etc. So some interesting feedback was given, but Hahndorf coaching group were very, very professional. Obviously, when you're 7 goals up at quarter time, makes it a bit easier too.
Yep, so Anderson on their chain of a handballs, goes long and short, bouncing ball, gathered by Ace, but he's quickly dispossessed. Great work by Mail. Got the handball away as he's going to ground level, taken by Genie, cross and finds Sammy Williams, who's, as Colo said, I reckon one of the most underrated performers in the competition. He'll come back across the ground, and he's got Leak out here of the Joel variety. He's got time to nurse it back to Genie, who actually started this passage of play, gives it back to Trent Mail. This is a chance here to go to half forward. Good defensive work there by Moore, got the ball to ground. Also getting involved there was Dunn, finally taken by Mosen. Milson gets it out. Legal disposal called by umpire 10. I thought he might have been infringed a little bit high there, Mitchy Weeks, but
yeah, it didn't look like a bad handball from here, but might have been on the
blind
wrong
side for umpire 10.
Correct.
Yep.
So Sammy Hill, about 80 metres out, goes to the hot spot, 20 metres from goal. Good contest, ball comes to ground, off hands, over the back, comes to Benson. Did he get a handball? Umpire said yes, Dykes is in there, and Salt wraps him up. So it's 15 metres out from the Hahndorf goal here, 45-degree angle, the umpire throws it up. Salt now taps it down, McCready, handball out to Bricknell. He's got Benson as a runner, elects to go by foot down to Hopton. Hopton purling right on the boundary line, and the veteran will see it out.
Now, while we've got you here, Mitchy, as Colo said, a few questions being asked at quarter time. I believe not so long ago you asked a very important question.
That's another story, mate.
Oh,
yes.
And what was the answer?
It was yes, yep.
Oh, very well done. We might get to that at half time.
She's a lucky girl, let me tell you.
She is, yeah, she is. You tell yourself every day, no doubt. As it comes back, Benson got it back to Johnson. Haven't seen a lot of him last week's match winner performance. Comes down to the Maucho. Hopton at ground level. Maucho comes back over the top, held in there. So, fantastic work. Just tell us a bit about the young girl.
That was Saturday morning, mate.
Saturday morning. Wow, what a big Saturday for you.
Saturday Arvo, yeah. So apologies for my comments throughout the call. I probably had about a dozen or so
Ah, Champagne's.
Local West Ends.
Oh, good man. It comes down to Ace, the excitement machine. Gets up, straightens it, puts it back into McCready. McCready has a shot.
Yeah.
Oh, I tell you what, he sort of rushed that, Shane Collins. Probably had more time than he knew, but maybe not a lot of talk out there for him. But positively, or logicality, suggests that Blackwood would be pretty happy there with the first score of the quarter, even though it's a minor one. So they move on to 1-2, trailing the Magpies 7-5 to the... as we go back to the engaging Mitchy Weeks, and what do you got there? Some messages coming in?
Yeah, got a few comments on the Facebook page as the ball comes out and Pearling takes a strong grab on the half-back line. Bit of love here for Sam Schmidt-Hill. And also, rightly so, Ben Silky Salt has started the game well as Hankin tries something innovative there, but it's the ball's over the line. And... yeah, shout out to the Cheney clan at Warracknabill. They're watching in and...
might be out of isolation soon.
Yeah, well, that's true, and they'll be very happy about that. They'll also be happy about the start of this game. So, ball comes down. Madsen now. Handball out to Williams. Been lively, and he's silky by foot. Let's see how he is here. Good hit. Oh, Sam's can't quite wrap it up. Ball comes out to Anderson. Oh, he's had the fumbles today, although gathers now. Gives it back to a teammate. Short kick. McCready can't quite... He does now wrap it up. Madsen's wraps him up. And... now out to Sam Williams, who kicks forward. It's a bit of a scrappy affair. Did he catch one high, or the umpire said no? So not much clean possession there, Pistols. It's comedy of errors at the moment, and it's Breeze has just picked up as we speak.
Rivermore involved there. He coughed the ball up, then the McCready. So anyway, Bennett's doing the ruck work. Ball comes down the ground. He looms as Hayden, just as he was about to the great escape. The umpire said no.
We're going to play it down
There's
here.
a player down there at the moment.
Looks like McCready, I reckon, boys.
There's an arm up in the air too from a teammate, so this doesn't look good. It looks like one in the nose, maybe.
Where's Goldie when you need him? He's very good with the medical diagnosis.
Yeah, he would
Blokes
be.
with
He
broken,
would be,
with
Goldie.
broken ankle and he's got a punch in the nose or something like that. So,
He broken leg and he comes running back out 10 minutes later.
a bit of a halt and play here at the moment, as we said. 1-2 Blackwood. Hahndorf leading 7-5. They haven't added to their quarter-time score where Blackwood have added a point. So anyway, getting back to more important things, just tell us about the lovely lady names. And
yes, her name's Maddie. Yep.
Maddie.
Yep. So.
How long has she been lucky enough to know you, Mitchell?
A couple of years going on now.
Fantastic.
Yeah, so all's good, mate. Was down at Victor for the weekend and
very.
spent a fair bit of time on the golf course.
I tell you, it looked like something out of I don't know, one of those famous romantic Hollywood blockbusters. Down on the knee on the beach there.
Yeah, mate. Yep, down on the water.
Where were you? I thought it looked like you were at Maslin's.
Yeah, should have been. Should have been. Probably wouldn't have had the cameras there then, but yeah, no, it was a good weekend, mate, and topped off even better by the Tigers. So great weekend all round. As it is McCready, is it?
Yes.
He's
McCready
coming off.
coming
He
on.
looks very groggy.
I tell you, he's a bit of a tough customer, so yeah, you know he'd be hurt. So
yeah, that was the last thing they needed too.
Yes.
Because he was the one midfielder that was serving it up to the Hahndorf mids, but it'll be a big hole to fill for the Woods
Trustee's
now.
all right. As looks like from one hard nut to another, as Liam McCarthy's going to come on replace Benny McCready. So Trust. Meanwhile, back hit out by Bennett, taken away here by Tuck. Yeah, Tuck read that well on his left foot, nurses it up. Target there is Warbert, the big man, brings it to ground level. Here's Bricknell, shrugs through the cricket pitch area. Well done, he's run down. Good work there by Madsen. Got the ball out here to Hankin. Hankin tumbles one forward. Babbage, got a cruel bounce. It's bounced in favour of Mayo. Coming intercepted though was Moore. Coughed up here. Back to Babbage, gets a handball to Hamby, who's found space. He tries to get on his boot. No, gets a handball back to Milson. Mo Milson under pressure from Hill. Good dive in there by Jimmy Catford. Coming out there's Cooper Nykamp, got the ball out in the clear. Taken by Hayden. Can he get a free shot here? Gives it to Salt around the corner. And as far as deep in defence, the mark taken for Blackwood defensively. So Blackwood last line of defence.
I think it's McCarthy back there. Great call, Pistols. Kicks towards Anderson. Now at ground level, Trent Mail gives off to Hankin. Wrong foot. Ball spills out to Babbage. Clean hands. He's been good below the knees. Gives back to Madsen. Kicks forward to a 2-on-1 in favour of Blackwood, and they'll see it over.
Yeah, Bennett's trying to rule it in one-handed style there, but under opposition and Nykamp. So 7.5 minutes gone, and as we said, wherever you're watching our stream, send us in some messages. Hello to Michael Pfeiffer, who's down at the Bend this afternoon. Got his priorities right down there, Mitch, hasn't he? Shane Collins, what's spotted?
No, I was just double checking. I heard there was a bit of love before on the Facebook for Sam Hill. It's worthy because I'm really liking the way
2 goals and
the way he's going about his game today.
Late inclusion. Geez, I tell you what, saying as your call if they get through, he'd be putting his hand up for next week. I'd hate to be at the selection table at Pine Avenue this week. That's understanding they win this game, but they're going pretty well at the moment. 7-5 to 1-2. 8 minutes gone, second term here on the Call Wild. Trust you're enjoying it. Mitchy Weeks working the Facebook this afternoon.
Yep, Matty Stone says, don't count out the woods yet. Come on, lads. So optimistic, and I
Good
like
on you,
it.
Matty. That's
I
good.
like it. So plenty of footy to be played as the ball's thrown in. Picked up by Hankin, shrugs a tackle, gets the handball out towards the boundary line, and it's going to beat. Oh no, Sam Hayden. Oh, he tricked everyone. On the wrong foot, kicks it towards, or down there is Nykamp. Couldn't quite. Woods will mop up here. Through Johnson. So sold a bit of candy, goes back the other direction, kicks to this veteran in Bricknell, who just, I think you're seeing an experienced head. He gets back off the mark, takes his time, will sap out a bit of energy out of the game. Now goes short. Can't see, I'm obstructed out there. Pistols, you got a number on that?
Might have been more.
Bit of a shank, it'll work. McCarthy.
In fact, it was more. The ball
Completes
comes across
the
to
switch.
Evan Johnson, the ball from Sale City. Oh, tries a bounce. It marginally came back to him. That's better. Firmer turf. Now goes inside half forward. Looming out here is Ace. Can he trap it? No, he overruns it. Leaks back there. He's got support from Hopgood. Hopgood takes the ball across the ground. Oh, he's picked out Anderson. But in the meantime, downfield, I think Leak was put down after he cleared it. So the resultant free kick, frustratingly for Blackwood, will go to Yench, who gets it out wide and finds Sam Hayden. So Ryan Anderson just about to perhaps have a shot at goal there for his team, but the ball turned over. So Hayden along the Flaxley outer wing here. Big leap there. Ball comes to ground. Warden's there. Also, he's got support there from Milson. He's locked up as the Hahndorf water boy. He's got the whole oval to stand, but he'll stand right in front of us, Mitchie. And ball out over the boundary.
I think
line.
you just said it was Matty Stokes with that comment about Blackwood. I really hope he's right. My prediction earlier was more about the way they were playing. They just didn't come at it early, and they've just done some silly things here as well. But they're slowly getting back into the contested game.
Chance there from Spawn, put the ball forward, but here's that man, the Stallion. Perling goes to ground as he's done over the years. When the big games come around, the big games come out of the Stallion.
He's a star, isn't he?
Graham Sinclair and Cooper Petey, Pistols, loving your call. Good on you, Skinny. No doubt underground there, the underground disco, as used to be years ago at the Grenfell Centre, which he'd know I'm talking about. So he's underground today. Good on you, Skinny. Have one for me. Meanwhile, ball comes out here to Babbage, gets out the run of Jaron Marr. Oh, sells a bit of candy, then dispossessed, but managed to get the ball clear. Babbage has followed up. He'll give this to Eckerman. He wants to get in that right foot. He goes backwards to go forward and picked out a running teammate there. And that man, Sam Hill.
Our boy.
Graham Sinclair has been a late inclusion, but he's the man of the match as he's going to line up for his third goal here. And the first goal for Hahndorf in this quarter as they work towards the Royal Echunga Golf Course end. Mitchie Weeks.
Great example of forward running there. They had lined up 2, 3, 4 in front of the footy and just clean enough by hand, which has sort of been the difference between the two sides. As Sam Hill strolls in, he'll be the beneficiary if he can kick straight. He's put it up there. Has he got the journey? I think he has, maybe just. He certainly has. Gets the nod. Is that Bobby Crompton down there?
Hood Crompton, yeah.
Gives the nod. He's been doing it for a few years. Speaking of
I think he was
experienced boundary umpires.
He was doing it when Randell was running around, I'd suggest. So 8 goals on the board now for the Pies. They go to 8-5, leading Blackwood 1-2. Jaden and Indy, how's it going with stats-wise? Blackwood getting a little bit better?
Well, I've got to say, looking at Blackwood's stats, not really much improvement, but at the same time, can't really say it's much worse, although it can't really get much worse. Only 1 centre clearance and 6 marks, although they have been able to get a couple marks inside 50 this quarter and a few more inside 50s with that, but again, just no scoreboard conversion.
And Hahndorf just too good at the moment. 17 kicks, 12 handballs, and also 6 tackles, so the pressure has been really good. And also, there could be already a record state here, boys, the way this game is going. So stay tuned for that one.
We love those records. And tell you what, Colo, that's why we call him the toe cutter. Takes no prisoners, Indy, in his summary of how things are going. But he's quite right. Blackwood need a big lift here. Bit of push and shove here between Mile and Johnson. And the meantime, the free kick will be going to
Matty Tuck.
Matty Chuck. Yeah, just waiting. Umpire Tanner must be in the blood rule there. So Matson coming back on the ground. So in the meantime, Tuck nurses up the line to Dykesman. That's a very good contested mark in opposition to Yedge. Dykesman wheels round, goes towards the half-forward flank area. Getting his hands to it there was McCarthy. Liam puts it forward to Ace in front.
Oh, great
And he
play.
loves that. That's bread and butter stuff there, Shane Collins. Reminiscent of the famous number 7 all those years ago.
Oh, settle down there, Pistols. But that's better by Blackwood. Attack the goal front. You know, they went through the middle of the ground there. Don't chip out wide and all that sort of stuff. Attack the goal front there. Play on at all costs. Get the ball in as early as they can to Ace and give him a chance to do that.
Absolutely.
So Ace, who's their leading goal kicker, in fact, he's kicked their only one. So opportunity is, I said, knows this ground pretty well. Towards the primary school end. Has kicked a few over the years for Echunga, of course, in his first season with the Woodsman. So sets it up. I tell you, that's split the middle perfectly. So Blackwood just pull, well, they need to pull a fair bit back, but at least it's a positive sign here, Mitchy Weeks, as they get their second at the 14-minute mark, second term. They're 2-2. Hahndorf 8-5.
Good to see Ben McCready's back out here just in front of us, boys, walking up and down the ground. Hopefully he will be able to come back on the ground soon, but good to see that he's back on his feet.
Thanks for that, Colo. Yep, great passage of play there from Blackwood. They just took it on. You saw Dykes just roll on. No hesitation whatsoever. You love to see that from a side when they're down like this. So ball's thrown up now. Roberts down to Hammy. Seen that movie before. Yanch off the ground. Kicks into the forward 50. Babbage. Another clean pickup from below his feet, the big fella. And Tuck. Tuck wins out now. He's quickly set upon by the Hahndorf defenders. Ball comes out in the tackle. Waldron gets a short kick away and finds a teammate. Handball comes inside to Bricknell. Bricknell now runs his measure and kicks long in the H direction. Joel Leake, well done. Although the ball, it's down there on the far wing and a good tackle wrapped up. We'll have a stalemate right over there on the opposite flank to us, Pistols, and probably on the 50-metre mark from Blackwood, but positive signs here in the last 5 minutes.
Nice to see our media manager Shane has dragged himself out of the hospitality tent, sent us a score halfway through the second term. Birdwood lead by 2 goals. It was 3-7 to 3-4 early in the term, but apparently the Roosters at last report were 2 goals up. Approaching half-time, so game on there for the Country Division flag this afternoon. Meanwhile, we're here at Echunga to see which team will take on Lobethal for the Division 1 flag. And at the moment, the Magpies, Kingston Town style, or if you're Blackwood to Kingston style, you can't win from there, but Hahndorf looking pretty good, as called early by Shane Collins. So in the Flaxley outer wing, we'll have a ball up. Warbutt doing ruck duels with Daniel Roberts, comes down to Madsen. Got across to Hayden. Both of those two are combined pretty well this afternoon already for the Pies. Bouncing ball, vacant, Pagan's paddock here. Wilson tried to tap it in. It's taken by the man of the match so far. Hill got it back to Madsen. The skipper arches the back, goes inside. The kick was deflected. Here's Salt looming. Gave us the ball, the spicy one.
That's his third.
Oh, Benny Salt. The Cobra goes up. And as Mitchy Weeks said, that's his third goal, the 9th on the board for Hahndorf at the 16-minute mark, second term. Shane Collins, Salt, excitement machine.
He is a star, but let's go back to that stoppage. That was elite off the stoppage there. Really good hands. Got out running out wide and got it over here to Hayden, who did a really good job on this wing. But yeah, just too classy around the stoppages, and you know, players like Matson, Williams, Hayden, they've been at the forefront there, and I think even Matty Yenchen in a few stoppages there was good. And our boys just coming to the bench. Young Hilly, what a game he's playing.
Hillsfooty.com. Proudly brought to you by Mortgage Choice Adelaide Hills, in association with HFL Media.
Yeah, Hills Footy Media Trust enjoying our worldwide stream coverage of the Division 1 preliminary final. And, of course, thanks to Solar Wholesalers, our game day sponsor, for their assistance today. Daniel Roberts just hacks the ball forward. First to get there was Tuck. He's lucked up in a good tackle applied by Hankin. Holding the ball was the call, so nothing going right for the Woodsman as opposed to the last 2 weeks. So Hankin a bit undecided here. He's got Cheney out wide if he wants him. He'll go further forward. Looming out there is Eckerman. Oh, nearly pulls into Margates Anderson. Here's Cheney, does arrive. He gets the ball. He's collared by Anderson. Can't get rid of it. In the meantime, line ball decision is the call there, Mitchy.
Love to see a lift from Anderson here. He's not had too much impact on the day, and it's a beautiful sunny day out here at Echunga, his sort of conditions. So let's keep an eye on that as Roberts taps forward. Here's that man on cue.
He must have the earpiece in there, Mitchy, listening to you.
And it's a free kick against the Stallion. And Catford takes it on now, yeah, with the advantage paid towards Ash. Great fist there by Joel Leake, but the Woods have got numbers now. Kick
Johnson.
goes forward. Yeah, through Johnson. And, was it a half ollie? No, umpire said no. So I think it's Yench. Yep, it is. He'll switch out wide to Cheney. The two marshals back there. Cheney will kick forward to Eckerman. Mark taking it on the half-back line. Eckerman just assesses his options, and his captain's telling him kick forward.
So Flaxley out of the wing of the Chunga Oval sets the ball up. Big pack, big leap there. Oh, Salt, Inspector Gadget, but just in front of him was that man, the veteran, the stallion, the goat. He handballs up to Eckerman, puts it up forward. Going to ground there was Babbage under pressure. Niekamp goes to ground as well, close to the boundary line. Niekamp fighting there. Finally, the Blackwood defender pushed over the boundary line. Mitchie, what do you spotted?
Just interesting seeing them set up here. The Woods have got a few people free in front of the ball. You'd think they'd be pushing back to get behind the ball and then transfer forward, but if they manage to win this stoppage, they could be out.
Very good surveillance there. Coach in the making here, Shane Collins.
Yeah, he's spot on too, Mitchie, but unfortunately when you play a side like Hahndorf, they'll generally make the most of that positive numbers in their favour, don't they?
So Warbett just pushed his opponent Roberts out of the way, which is known mean feet.
Fiend meat.
Yeah, fiend meat. Yeah, no, that's not logicality, is it?
Logical.
So,
I love how the HFL media team have created a word.
Yeah, just our own language.
Yeah,
Jack Dyer style.
Oh, I love it. It's great.
Ball comes bouncing out here. Oh, Anderson. Inspired as he got, but stolen there by Leck in the meantime.
That's been the inspirational call by Mitchie, hasn't it? And Ando's come to the party.
Do you put on your Facebook thing, you're an influencer?
Don't think so, mate. Not likely.
Warbett tried to toe poke it forward. Matson's in there as well. Comes to Hank and he tries to get it, but he's got two hard nuts there to beat in McCarthy and also Anderson. So nil-all draws that one. So umpire Lawless balls up just outside the 50-metre arc. Roberts got it down, taken away by Spawn, bouncing ball. Pagan's paddock out in front of the Echunga members pavilion. In fact, it goes out of bounds right in the interchange area here in front of the Solar Wholesalers scoreboard, which at this stage of the game, at the coming up 20 minutes, second term leads Hahndorf 9-5, leading Blackwood 2-2.
Boundary umpire throws it in. Roberts just shoves his opponent out of the way. Kicks forward out of the ruck. Now Babbage under it. What can he do? He brings it to ground in front of him. Gives Hankin a chance. Bricknell there also. Ball spills to Hayden. Gets it back to Babbage. Strolls into 45. Got a good look here. Looks like he's tugged it left, and he has, unfortunately. So, yeah, Dan Roberts just manhandling his opponent there, and it's certainly getting on top of the stoppages. However, we have seen more of a competitive Blackwood this quarter as they bring it in from fullback.
So Nathan Dunn to kick out for the Woods. Ball sits there, Hamby in front. That's a good strong mark by the former South man and also North Adelaide coach. He nurses it into a short lead, chopping it off though. Here's Salt, good enough to get it, nearly styled out. Baldacera spins out of the pack for the Woods as he gets a high kick. Here's Perling. Moved Hopton out of the way, then goes back and gets the ball himself. Pulled down by Hopton, that's holding the ball. And good second effort there by Phil Hopton. We need him to fire up here because his side certainly needs it. So Hopton, he'll go towards the half-foot flank area. Looming out there was Dykes, been dispossessed there. Cheney involved there. He's got support there from Mayo. I tried a little dinky kick along the boundary line, but come off the shin and over the boundary lines for a throw-in by umpire. Boundary Academy, long-serving academy boy in James O'Leary. 250 gamer with the boundary, Mitchie Weeks. So, throw in. Over the back, Matty Roberts got it down. Hayden's there. Finally comes out here to Yench, gets a quick kick away. Falls in the hands of a teammate there in Hill, I think it was. Got it up here to odds. Salt, and how he took that mark, I don't know, against Waldron, but here's a magic man. Salt goes up the line. That's a beautiful kick to the lead here, Tommy Babbage.
Babbage now 51 metres out he'll kick from. He looks inboard, he does. He switches it across the goal face. He's got a man out there in Sam Hayden. Oh, well done, Capford. Without infringing, got a hand in there. Eckerman now picks it up. On the right boot, kicks to the top of the square.
Oh,
nothing doing there for the Magpies. Yeah, done, good effort. Now ball spills out. Oh, Hankin's going to pick this up and mop it up, no worries. Great effort there from Dunn, but just lacks support from his fellow defenders. And there's only so much repeat entries they can stop.
Yeah, and last line of defence, error there, Shane. Yeah. Dunn, I don't want to put the knives in, but he spilled that mark, but yeah.
Yeah, you're 100% right. It's the tsunami's coming in there, and if you can't, just those half chances, you've got to take hold of them and not give Hahndorf a sniff at goal. But unfortunately, when you drop them, their crummers are too good. They've been really good on the deck today, Hahndorf. Their pressure's been excellent, and winning that 50-50 footy been outstanding.
So they go under 10-6. leading Blackwood 2-2. Preliminary final heading towards half-time. 22 minutes gone. Here at Echunga Oval, ball locked up at ground level. Catford there with that distinctive mullet. Held up in there, so by Matty Roberts, who get up and do the ruck work. Bundled out the way by Warbett, flicked it over the top towards Benson. Yeah, great tap. Benson took the initiative from that, and they found Phil Hopton out on the lead. So Phil Hopton, opportunity here to only 8 goals for the season. Hasn't really started through the finals. He's got maybe half a game of the season left to fire up and pull off what would be a remarkable victory, Kingston Town style, Shane Collins, all those years ago. So Hopton must start their run off here, Shane, by kicking this goal.
About as much chance as the Pies win in the AFL, mate.
So Hopton
strolls in,
I tell you
and
what,
he's got the distance. He certainly does, and that's he's made the most of that opportunity. It's going to be rare. He gets a little bit of room there from Perling, so making the most of it, and that's what they've got to do. They're going to have to be near on perfect from here on out, Pistols.
So I tell you positively, that's their best scoring quarter of the game. I've kicked 2 and 2-3. Well, opening term it was 7-1. So
a bit of credit there to big Warbett in the ruck there. It was a fantastic
great
tap.
Yeah.
It was a beautiful tap and put his on-ballers into open space and a bit of an off kick, but Hopton was good enough to be in front and take the mark.
Matty Stones has said, just slowly losing faith. Well, mate, there's a little bit back for you as Benson comes out of the square, kicks forward in the Hopton direction. Crash the pack. It's good contest. Perling gets wrapped up. Umpire says 2-eye, and he's going to take the free kick.
We hope Matty's not, what's he say, slowly losing consciousness as he's halfway through the 30-pack watching. Good to have you on the stream, Matthew. Trust you're enjoying the coverage, maybe not just the result at the moment, as Hahndorf with the ball. Looks like it's through Dylan Madsen, is it, or Sammy Hayden? Sammy Hayden, it could be in the distance. It is Sam Hayden, nurses the ball across and finds Eckerman. So Hahndorf really, obviously fired up with last week's shock loss to the Tigers, which we might have a chat about later on, Mitchie, the fallout, how things in the Valley of Praise. Ball goes up there, here's Warbett, Collo's man, takes a good mark there. So Jan Warbett, the former basketball, taking on the main ruck duties this season with the retirement of Lucas Herbert. Ball comes out here to Bricknell as he got it from Catford. Catford does a bit of shepherding off ball. It's a long bomb comes in. Here's Hayden again off hands. Ball comes out here. Once again, Hahndorf.
Good tackle.
Pressure comes out here to Perling. Usain Bolt, like as he bursts along the outer wing, puts it up here. Waldron versus Salt. Waldron got a fist to it, down to War, but he's doing plenty of work. The big man goes to ground level. Salt's in there as well. Warbett still with the ball. And, doing a power work at the moment, Mitchie.
Love to see Blackwood just not bomb it in, a 50-metre kick to half forward. Love to see him take it on, use their pace, run, get the ball out to space as Hammy gets it on the boot, jams it in, forward 50. Now Bricknell with a return serve, gives a handball to Benson. He's locked up straight away. Good tackle there, Sammy Hayden. Ball comes out towards the boundary now. There was someone infringed on, umpire said yes. Umpire Reese Williams right there, front and centre. It'll be Matty Tuck. He's going to have the ball. Goes back now, assesses his options. I'd love to see him take it on here. Yep, and he does. Dangerous kick now. Oh dear, he's just missed. Yeah, right idea, but Yench will mop up.
Kicker at pitch area. Sets it right back in for his. Babbage looms out. Good tuck, got his hand to it. Sport the marking opportunity. Here's Salt. Good body work in there by Bennett. Over the top is Babbage. Ball held in there, and pretty formidable group of spectators up here. Mitchie just up the line here. A few blokes up here could play, and sort of watching the outcome today. Coach Matt Fuller there with the Loberthal contingent after their good win last week. They'll play the winner of this at the moment. Could be a rematch with Lobie the way things are going. Bouncing ball. Cruel to a few players. First to get back to his Bennett's for the Woods. Gets it out here to Moore. River Moore. He's got great work there by Yench, who actually took that initial kick into that passage of play and then raced up the forward pocket to smother the attempted kick up the line. So
yep, they're certainly running on top of the ground here, Pistols.
27 minutes gone. Sorry, it's what are you looking at? 10-6 as the siren has gone. 10-6 to 3-2. At half-time here, Mitchie.
Half-time siren there, perhaps getting Blackwood out of jail with, again, a forward stoppage for Hahndorf.
So just what you see as they're going off, just the body language here. Quick update on that. What do you think?
Yeah, there's a few tired players out there, mate, from both sides. Just looking at it now, obviously, Hahndorf are all business. There's a few senior heads from Blackwood here coming out and encouraging their younger ones, saying, come on, boys, we're not out of it yet. So they're not dropped their heads too much, probably just a little bit of a shock. And, yeah, Hahndorf just regrouping in the middle, just a lot of congratulating, and it's only half done.
Yeah, well, they led at 40 points, and they've extended it by minimally to 46 points here. The Hahndorf Football Club, as we'll go down to Jaden and Indy, half-time for the stats that matter. Take it away, boys.
Cheers, thanks, Pistols. So, yeah, Hahndorf's kicking and marking was really good in that quarter. So, for the half, they've had 80 kicks and 55 handballs and 24 marks as well. They had 16 inside 50s in that quarter. They had 28 for the half. They've just, been too good around the ball, Hahndorf, just all year, and obviously the last 2 years they've just been too good in that area as well. So yeah, hopefully they can continue that and get a big win today. They also got 10 hit-outs as well, so and they got 6 centre clearances, so hopefully they can keep up that pressure as well. Indy.
Just a couple of tiny baby steps forward to improvement for Blackwood. They got 3 centre clearances compared to 1, and considering that there was less scoring in that quarter, that is a positive, but otherwise it's only downhill from there. 70 kicks overall in the game, 45 handballs. They just haven't had that same level of composure that they did against Onkers last week coming out of the middle, and they've got 4 centre clearances overall, but considering we've had about, 13 goals kicked in total between the two teams for the game, that is quite concerning. McCready was really good, and he's continued to pile up on disposals. He's got 15 at the moment, 3 marks. He's having a good game, even though he came off for a little bit in that second quarter. I reckon Johnson could get a little bit more involved. He's had a couple tackles, but only about 6 disposals for the current moment. So yeah, a very disappointing first half of football from Blackwood. I don't know what they can make out of this second half to at least put the effort back in there, but yeah, some big questions to ask coming out of that first half.
And also, just for listeners out there, Hahndorf averaged score of 25 in the second quarter, so and only got 19, so averaged about 4 goals. So, like Indy said, some good baby steps there for Blackwood. So hopefully they can maintain that pressure, and we'll see how we go. Back to you guys.
G'day, this is Tony Modger, and there is always plenty of top marks with the coverage of Hills community football here on HFL Media.
Hillsfooty.com, powered by HFL Media and Lofty, radio with altitude.
Indeed, and trust you enjoyed Hills Footy Media's coverage of the Division 1 Hills Football League preliminary final, and at half-time it's Hahndorf in a pretty handy position, 10-6-66, leading Blackwood 3-2-20, so 46-point margin there in favour of the Magpies. So the boys will be lining up next week, the 53rd Hills Football League top tier grand final. And, well, I spotted this man having a bit of a wander out in the crowd. One of my old teammates from back in the glory days of Heathfield Allgate United and also the Mount Lofty Football Club. But, yeah, big pleasure to welcome into the Call of the Wild, Lee Evans. G'day, Lee.
G'day, Jeffrey. How you going, mate? Nice to see you again. And
yeah.
Great day at the footy here, obviously.
Yeah.
But wouldn't want to be anywhere else.
Well, that's right. That's all good in here, Lee. I tell you, if it starts raining, this is certainly the best spot to be.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, as we mentioned about the history of Hills Football League, of course, your late father, Lindsay Evans, you had only been a little, wee snapper, but he actually coached the first A-grade premiership. In fact, the first 2, but the first one back in 1967 for the Heathfield Allgate Football Club. What do you remember of that?
Vague memories. I was only, as you said, I was in primary school. But they came from 4th in 67 in the first year of the HFL and overcame Jarrett, who were the dominant team all year from memory. And then 68.
Last kick of the day,
last kick of the day. They were undefeated till the second semi. This is Heathfield. And Onkers obviously got over them in the second semi and then won the prelim, got into the granny and then were down most of the day. And Harry Deans kicked the winner at going towards the top end at Hahndorf Oval.
Great folklore. I think if I recall, when he kicked the winning goal, the boot was confiscated and painted up, and I think it still sits in the club rooms at Mount Lofty.
Yeah, it's still in a case, in a glass case.
The golden boot.
The golden boot, Harry Deans, yeah.
Of course, another man you'll be familiar with, the great Roger Muso, Burbridge, tells me that he was probably responsible because he hacked the ball out of a ruck contest and got it forward to Harry and
probably right.
But it's a
so-
famous photo I've seen of the hierarchy of Heathfield Allgate United along the sidelines, and they just look on their face because Harry lining up for the which would have been the last kick of the game virtually, I think.
Yeah. I'd given up as a kid. I went up on the tennis courts and started kicking the footy because I
Chuck
thought
the towel in.
we were getting I was pretty concerned. Even back when I was
Few
that
tears
young.
there, mate.
Huh?
You had a few tears ready. That you're gonna
Yeah,
lose.
I was pretty. I know I cried in '69 when we lost the first semi to Sterling. When
Yeah,
Dad was
last
still
time Sterling
coaching.
actually beat him. Yeah.
Out at Mount Barker.
Yeah.
And
As you said, you were a kid. I suppose when you look at all the, as we saw at quarter time here, sometimes clubs have more coaches and bloody players out there. Back in the day, I suppose it was just your dad. Can you remember him coming home and sitting at the kitchen table with the mag board and just?
No, I don't think Lindsay.
Things were a little bit more simple those
I don't
days.
think Lindsay worked like that, but I know Mum and Dad accepted, and the players were often around our place on a Sunday, and there'd be card games, and Mum would make them sandwiches and that sort of thing. And even your brother Vinny, who was still at Sterling, was a regular around our house back in those days as well. So yeah,
That was like the unofficial Heathfield hotel there.
yeah, it was.
Lee.
Yeah.
Lee.
Well, sorry, no, I was just going to say, I don't know whether you recall, but in '68 when they won, the owner of the Allgate, Max Hatherley, the Allgate pub, he said to Dad, if you win the flag, you can have the pub for a week. So they literally took it over, and they were living down there, and Brucey Deans was singing from the balcony, and they had the Heathfield Allgate banner around the top of that balcony, and it's
like
quite amazing days.
It's like putting Ronnie Biggs in charge of your railway network.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
But no, they were great days, as you said, and yourself as coming up as a player, as a kid through Heathfield Allgate. And I think what a lot of people don't realise in the span of just 12 seasons that the club was in operation, of course, A-grade premierships, I think 9 of them, 7 on the trot, of course. But they won overall something like 31 flags throughout the various grades. And, of course, you as a junior footballer, you must have won a flag just about every year.
Yeah, I was actually sitting with Keithy White today, and we played a lot of footy together, as you know, and we were only saying that we were lucky, and because my son plays at Blackwood, and I said to him this morning, because he's never played in the grand final, I said,
Really?
I really want you to win, or you obviously want him to win,
Yeah,
but so they can experience the grand final. Because
which they did.
Which they did, yeah.
Yep.
So they got up
So his
today.
first grand final?
Next Saturday, obviously, yeah.
And, so junior Colts under 16s?
16s, yeah. Yep.
So they take on...
they play Mount Barker.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So
But it was really, just for him and his mates that haven't experienced one to obviously, you have a chance and have a crack at it, which is fantastic.
So you'll be able to advise him during the week, mate, with nerves?
Yeah, I don't
all
say
days?
too much. His coach has given him all directives, but I tend to stay in the background. But yeah, obviously give him a little bit of a chat here and there. Yeah.
You might get out some of the old home movie, black and white footage, and show him you in action, mate.
Get him out some of the old premiership photos.
Hey, now in your life after footy, like you were involved, as I said, with Mount Lofty, and then also with the Port Adelaide Football Club. Stats side of things.
Yeah, did stats down. Really lucky. Went down and used to go and watch training, and I got to know a few people, and got asked to do the stats. So my first year was Nathan Buckley's proper first year of league. He played a little bit in 91.
92.
So 92 was my first full year, and really fortunate, and sat in the coach's box on a number of grand final days with Jack Cale, Stephen Williams, and then did a couple of years at the AFL when Jack was coaching with Choco was assistant those first 2 years. Really lucky. I mean, I was only a very fairly small part, but it was just a good experience, to see.
So you're a stats man, or you had to go buy the coffees?
Yeah, stats. Yeah, but only
a bit like Colo is here, Mitch. You go buy the coffees.
Yeah, but still pretty basic role. But at the end of the day, it was good fun.
All part of it.
Yeah, all part of it. Yeah.
Because I've read the book Dynasty, whatever you want to call it, about the Williams. And, there's that really good documentary they had on TV not long ago about Port, this Born to Win flags, and that must have been the situation you found, the environment, the
pretty
strive
tough.
to be the best.
Yeah, and, they didn't tolerate any imbeciles, if you wanted to muck around, you'd be out the door pretty quick.
What, and they had you there, mate?
And they had me there, which is really surprising. That's probably why I'm not still there.
Hey, as you said, like to win, you've had a few successes been involved with successes, you said, back in your playing days, and Blackwood at the moment, looking down the barrel here.
Oh yeah, and clearly the best team of the year so far has been Hahndorf. I mean, where they finished, obviously got rolled last week, but pretty tough gig today for Blackwood, I would have thought. But having said that, after seeing Lobie the last couple of weeks, it's going to be one hell of a grand final, I think, next week, because they're very talented, and they bought their game last week, and it's going to be a tough grand final, I think.
And one good situation, I suppose, it's a dress rehearsal because same ground, so they can get used to it how it is. Hahndorf with the conditions, and speaking of conditions, they're getting a little bit darker out there. Mitchie, our man on the boundary might be in here. He's known to be a little bit soft in his days, but. All right, Lee, well, thanks very much for joining us, mate.
Thanks,
it's always
Jeffrey.
good to catch
Thanks
up with
for
you.
having me on. And
no
appreciate
problem.
That.
And all
Really
the best
nice.
to the lad next
Yeah.
week, and
Thanks,
no doubt you'll be able to give him some advice during the week.
I might send him your way. We played in the flag together, didn't we, Jeff? I think we did, 77.
We probably played in a couple,
Yeah.
Lee. Yeah, I probably gave you a few kicks.
Yeah, you probably might have. Yeah, thanks, mate.
All right, mate, all the best,
you.
Lee.
Yeah,
Thanks
See you guys.
Thanks for joining us. And it's good to have our man back, Shane Collins. As Lee Evans said, he probably used to go and buy the coffees at down Port Adelaide. So, Colo, where's my latte?
No, I actually slipped in a lovely pie with sauce for lunch and a bottle of water. So, no, it was really nice, but I'm getting a bit concerned, mate. She's a bit gloomy here.
Just,
excuse me, boys, you can't walk past without a comment. Come here. Come here.
The Jenkin boys have joined us here.
Here,
We've
right.
got Senior Jenkin and
Right.
Junior
Junior,
Jenkin. Where's
in
the
here.
where's the middle junior?
No, he's only a coach now.
He's
He's
no
only
good.
a coach.
No good.
Right. Who's the best, Jenkin?
Come on. I was confident, so I'll go Matt.
Matt.
We'll go Holly. Yeah,
No.
just keep it happy.
One big happy family this week, mate.
Yes, very much so, mate. It's been good. But yeah, still can't get over it and raring to go. Good week on the track and yeah, looking good.
Yeah, exactly. And you got through Mitchie last week. First came back from a hammy, no problems. You're all good to go.
All good. All good.
Not bad. How old are you now?
20.
20, first A-grade grand final, mate. You looking forward to it?
Yeah, very much so. This first final on the weekend, so last weekend. So it's cool. First
Ec-
final I've won.
Excellent, mate. Good work, boys. Have a good week on the track. All the best and enjoy.
Next week.
Yes, enjoy.
Thank you very much, there, Colo.
They are actually lies. Mitchie tells me off it. He's the best. He is the best Jenkin by a mile, he tells me.
Now, updating, we can tell you at half-time, Bird would lead by 20 points, the Country Division A-grade grand final. And we can tell you Holden 1, 2, 3. McLaughlin off after lap 1, thanks to Michael.
That's even better news.
That is better news. Mitchie Weeks takes us away, second half.
Thanks, Pistols. Ball's at ground level here. Hopgood gives it out to Hayden Eckerman as the Pies go forward. Kicks inside 50. Boundary line is lurking. Oh, so Sam Hill, and he keeps it in. Good handball over to Babbage. He's looking inboard too. Oh, selfless. And John Mayles just spilt it. But first footy's put wrong all day.
Oh, something's happened back here.
It was out of bounds. There you go.
Oh, the Academy boy's going to party pooper there, Colo.
Well, he has. He didn't blow the whistle hard enough.
That's a good. That's a brave decision down there in front of a pretty hostile crowd. Good on the young fella. And Sol. Oh, he got up and he taps it over. Although Capford's at ground level, kicks it high ball to the wing. Perling looming here, and he gets both hands to it. Although McCready, good to see him back on. Wow, he cops another big one.
Daniel
Straight in
Roberts.
the head.
And
Oh, there's a bit of remonstration coming.
He's out of his way there, Benson and the Perling. I tell you what, McCready got it.
They're not happy, the Woods boys. They are not happy.
And Woods, it's this big yarn. Perling, he's just got Cathode. That mullet might disappear, I think, here, Colo, at the moment. There's big Daniel Roberts just coming off there. So, yeah, game starting to fire up here, which we've got to...
Good to see McCready jump straight back up, though, and he's kicked a long ball, and Perling's going to get on the end of this. So a little bit ironic there. The big fella gets back. He's all business. Kicks inboard. Mail now.
Mail got a quick kick away as he's run down by Aish. Bouncing ball into Jens. Gavin said he's got support out by Leak. Leak in turn goes back there to Hopgood, gives it back to Williams. Nurses up the line, taken there by J. Mail. This is a better, he grabbed that possession that time, Mitchie. Ball towards the top of the goal square, trying to get there quickly as Babbage shows good pace for the big man. Keeps the ball in this time. Whistle is gone. He looks and says, "You got to be joking, umpire." But once again, well, party pooper there, Shane Collins.
Yeah, it was. It was just a real identical moment for me in the game then. Young Catford, he's nearly the smallest out there for Blackwood. Was the only one that stood up to what happened there, whether it was right, wrong or indifferent. As a club, you go in together, and there's some big boys for Blackwood who are happy to huff and puff when it suits them, but they went missing then.
So, ball locked in, tuck. Flying tackle goes to ground. Oh, bounces up well. like a cork in the ocean as he gets the ball across here, but a good intercepting mark taken there by Yench, I think it is. The silky one just chipping in as the ball was meant for Bricknell.
Oh, it's on off the ball again here.
And again, tell you what, they've got, I tell you what, the boys want to be careful, the Hahndorf boys, because they might have a game to play next week. This is getting very,
there you go.
very ugly
I
here.
might have got the message out.
Very, very ugly. So trust their birthday boy.
Thing is, Salt's kicked it into Echunga for a goal.
He absolutely has, and they'll get another one on the board.
I'm not pushing, shoving the square between Bricknell and Salt, but in the meantime, Salt has kicked the goal, boys.
Not quite sure what started that one off, boys. It looked like Babbage there from what I saw, but it's the old saying, you only see the second one. If you're going to get in first. But
that's a good comment.
So, yeah, interesting. No cards, nothing eventuating, but there was a fair wrestle, so at least they're up for it.
Well, they'd have to send about 3 or 4 from each side off that one, boys, to be honest here. But things hotting up here in the preliminary final. Trust you're enjoying on the HFL media.
G'day, this is Tony Modra, and there is always plenty of top marks with the coverage of Hills community football here on HFL media.
Oh, it's on again here. Hankins still got a problem down there with young Mo, I think it is.
Well, the Hankin boys are known to get a little bit excited at times. So back in the middle, Warbett up against Matty Roberts. Matty Roberts got the tap to Madsen. Nicely stolen by Benson. Drives the Woods forward, coming to meet his Mail. Get the ball. Oh, good work there by Hop. Good work sit for him, yes. Gets it across here to Matt Roberts. Gets it back to Hayden. He's been busy all afternoon. Goes out towards the Flaxley outer wing, taken by Jarrett Mail under pressure there from Bricknell.
Mail just steadies here, and there's not a bad call here for the Magpies just to get back to business. And on the trusty left, sends a high ball just inside the forward 50. Nightcamp about 4 deep. Ball goes over his head. Here comes Spawn. He's hassled.
Great tackle.
Yeah, good tackle there. I just missed that. Might have been Babbage, but good pressure and sees it out of bounds.
I think young Jimmy Catford from the Woods, someone might have just put a little rocket into him at half time. He is running around Mario and putting his body on the line everywhere and making sure he makes contact with every Magpies player near him. So good on him for at least trying something.
Ball at ground level here, just inside the forward 50 for the Magpies. Comes out now. Spawn gives a handball back. I'm just hindered there. It looked like Bricknell kicks the centre wing. McCready goes up. Oh, Roberts, big grab. It's just a man with the height there, and he just lets him know about it. Those two, of course, into each other just moments ago. So now, pushes back, goes short now. Cheney, looks like, just forward to centre wing here for the Pies.
So Cheney out of Flaxley wing, moves the ball on quickly, sets it up, a nice wedge shot. Out comes Nightcap. That is that's called by Shane Collins. Great call there, Colo. Fantastic flying mark by this young man. He's another excitement machine for the Pies. Only kicked the 1 goal today, but 22 for the season. Mitchie, an opportunity here to, get the hammer working again. 11-6 plays 3-2 here. 5.5 minutes gone. Of course, send us your thoughts on the game as Nightcap sets sail, but this time offline. And it's a minor score, out of bounds on the full by the looks of it. In the distance here, yes, it is. So free kick to Blackwood will bring the ball back into play. So deep in the back pocket. The Woods go back up the line from whence it came. Pack sets himself Warbut's got 1,000 Magpies to beat. Ball comes down. Players crashing in there at ground level. And the umpire will come in and ball it up. Well, a bit of push and shove, exiting the pack quickly. Looked like it was Mail. Roberts it was, Big Dan. So ball up, Warbut and Roberts. Roberts gets it down. Pushed out of forward by the Woods. Oh, kick is smothered there. Tuck, he was grabbed. Yes,
he's been real good today, hasn't he? He's tried his absolute guts out for him.
He's had a pretty good final series, Matty Tuck, the vice captain this year, goes out wide. He's got to play out loose as Benson on the wing. Oh, sells a bit of candies. He tries to get around him. In the end, runs himself into trouble around Hankin. Gave it back to teammate. He's backed up. I think that's Milson. Goes long. Hopton territory over the top, and that is a brilliant mark taken there by Ryan Dykesman, the skipper, Mitchie. And if I need some inspiration, if the skipper can finish off that big mark with a goal, it'll give him just a little bit more positive thing in a day that's turning a bit grey.
Absolutely, as we see Jimmy Catford coming off after Colo said a probably pretty dynamite 5-10 minutes. What are we here? 6.5 minutes in, and Dykes, good grab here, and like to see him lift too, the skipper. So let's hope he can put this one through as he strolls in.
13 for the year.
Pretty good. Yep, he's
Make
got
that
it.
14 for the year, and to say they need that's an understatement.
Yeah, great call by by Mitchie as well. They need more from their captain. That was a great mark and finish, but he needs to lift, as do a few others from the Woods. But they just need to get some momentum rolling here and try and put 2 or 3 on the board and on the trot. But easier said than done against this Hahndorf machine that we've got out there today.
So ball back in the centre. Umpire Tanner will set it up. So Warbett once again will do battle with Daniel Roberts back in the side today after that hamstring. Forced him to miss last week. Ball taken by Benson. He quickly got it out to Tuck again. Tuck, oh, great pick up on the run by Bricknell off his bootlaces and puts it forward. Ace infringed there perhaps. Yeah, no, well, I tell you what, bit unlucky there, Mitchie Weeks.
Yeah, stiff there.
Free kick there and yeah, Ace can't believe it.
Full forward to one to let the umpire know about it too.
So Cheney. Resultant free kick. Here's Salt limbering. He goes up. Got his hands to it. Ball comes down to ground level. Taken by Tuck again. Got it across the teammate and Spawn. Nurses it out wide looking for Milson. Mo Milson. Good body work as he keeps in the contest. Well done, young man. Finally coughs it up as Salt.
Great.
Well done by Milson.
He's been good today too. Another one that's been real good.
He came in the side last week, Mitch, at Echunga, and as you said, performed very well. And still having a crack, that's for sure. Sets the ball up high inside 50. Hayden, who's been everywhere so far in this match, takes a good defensive mark for the Pies. So Sammy Hayden camped in the back 50 arc for the Pies. What's on offer? They just spread themselves along the Dreammaker side, but he decides to go to Flaxley outer side. Oh, could have been a push out there by Benson. The umpire said play on. Ball comes to the ground. Yeah, locked in there, so umpire Tanner will come in and ball it up. So 9 minutes gone. Third term Division 1 preliminary final. Trust you're enjoying our call here on HFL Media. Get on social media, let us know what's happening. Mitchie, anything on there?
Nick Thompson says Ben Salt needs more praise. Well, he's got a fair bit of airtime. He's an absolute gun, so I'm not sure if that's sarcasm or...
Well, where he can only offer it as Nick has to see it. A bit like last week, they were getting stuck into one of the Woodsmen who played a very good game. So maybe McCormack, who's unfortunately missing today, as ball bouncing towards the boundary line.
Yeah, it's a good point too. We haven't touched on that. He's a big loss for Blackwood. He's been excellent in the last certainly 6 to 7 games of the year, including the finals. He's been outstanding. So big miss from them today.
And a youngster, young Pendles, and as you said, sorely missing today. So ball up, Warbett double hands it down. Dispossessed was Hankin. Oh, Warbett crashing in there over the top of Roberts, who's getting up rather gingerly. Big Dan is a big yarn. It's like a pole driver off the top rope there, WWE style, Mitchie Weeks.
Not wrong, mate. The physicality's definitely gone up.
Some of the stuff you'd see at Metro Retro.
Yeah, I don't know about that. Tuck comes down to the boundary. Oh, good sneaky handle there to Spawn along the fence, but he couldn't gather it. Hankin could. Kicks forward now. Nykamp, not quite. Ball comes to ground. Mail leads the race. Little toe poke forward. He just doesn't stop running, Jaron Mail.
Free kick.
Oh, it is a free kick. No, it's a throw in, but it could have been. It did look that Reece Williams ran in with intent there, didn't he?
He had some purpose about that sprint.
I've actually been on a running team with Jaron Mail back in the school days, mate, and he does not stop. He is unbelievable.
So he had to cover your leg as well?
Yeah, pretty much. I was there supporting him.
Here's Bricknell charging out. He's got plenty of run still, but unfortunately his kick is not what is required and goes out over the boundary line. So it looks like it might be the goat, the Stallion and Perling retrieving the ball from over the COVID-safe spectator area. So Scotty Perling, of course, a veteran of many flags for the Pies, could be lining up for another one next week. Sets the ball, sets up in the air. Nykamp, a big leap again. Here's a chance behind the pack, running and swooping on it.
Out on the full. He's sprayed that one. Near side, I think, Pistols.
Yeah, you're quite right. So opportunity gone begging. So could be Waldron back there, bring the ball back in for the Woods. Gets it across here to River Moore. So Moore in the other back pocket area. Echunga Primary School into the ground. So getting a little bit grey out there, Shane. But nothing to worry too much.
You're only looking at the roof of the van, mate. It's very grey out here, I can tell you.
Well, it's quite wide in here. So so Milson again nurses up the line. This is Benson, got time to run. He's 15 and goes long. Here's a chance for Dykesman. He's got 2 to beat. One of them was Cheney, who just disciplinedly just smacks the fist into the ball and puts it over the boundary line, as all good defenders should, Mitchell.
He's done that a few times in his career. Colo?
Yeah, no, good call. It's just a poor connection with their big forwards there. Hopton's running down the middle of the ground. No use. He should have been that target at that 50, leading up with his big frame and body.
Oh, Hayden just grabbed the ball and spat out of that. A blind turn. Well played, Sammy Hayden. He'd be close to one to BO round today. Up towards Babbage. He's got 2 to beat. Oh, ha, ha. As he fits one of the Woodsman's there for a necktie. And no free kick. Well, I'll be a bit high there, Mitchie. But anyway, he's closer than I am, the umpire.
No, we're quite a distance away, so trust the umpire on that one as the boundary umpire throws it in. Warwick and Salt. Oh, ball comes to ground now for the Woods, leading. Oh,
Hocking.
Jeez, there's just no clean footy at the
Well, he's
moment
out.
from the Woods.
Aha.
Mayo over the top. Oh, he's overcooked it too. Williams kicks into the centre, 30 out and finds his skipper.
Madsen.
Just see that. That's a great example of just how clean Hahndorf have been in contrast to Blackwood. They just find a way.
And unselfish there, Williams could have tried to do a bit of funny stuff and wheel around, have a shot, but they're a disciplined football team that they are. He spotted up the skipper and Madsen running down the corridor. So Dylan Madsen, the chance to kick. He's only kicked 7 for the season. 8, he got 1. He got the second goal of the game. My apologies. So Madsen for his second at the primary school end. No problems whatsoever. So Hahndorf just marching further off into the sunset. That's their 12th goal, Mitchie. They go to 12-6, leading Blackwood 4-2 here on the Solar Wholesalers scoreboard.
Been good by Foot in front of goal, Pistols. Like the set shots have been good today. It's refreshing to see because sometimes you don't rarely see it in AFL now. It's one part of the game that's lacking, I think, across the board, and they've been excellent today.
Yeah, it's a good call, Mitchie. The other thing Hahndorf do, they give himself good looks, like Sam Williams did there. They get him back right in front of goal and give himself every chance.
McCready on his left foot out of the centre, puts it up towards the coach and Anderson. Ryan Anderson running around his mark to try and get some vision, which he picks out Ace. Ace flies for good work back there by Joel Leake. He's done a pretty good job.
He's a very good player, isn't he, Joel
I was going to say,
Leake?
very underrated, Shane.
Yep. Joel Leake,
week in, week out, he
star.
gets the tough jobs.
Yep.
For a young fella, that's for sure.
Just goes to show you don't have to get all the kicks to play your role. And in a side like this, he doesn't need to get any kicks. He's been good today.
Absolutely. So Hopton doing the ruckman, clever tap over the back, putting a run for Hocking. He was dispossessed. Hopton follows up with a good tackle as he pins Mail to the ground. And umpire Tanner will come in and ball it up just on the 50-metre arc here for Blackwood as they work towards the golf course end. Hopton doing the ruck work, tries to get it out the back door, taken by Anderson. He sweeps a handball across the brick door, is drifted down. He's well tackled there by Yedge. Ball comes out through agency of Williams. He gave it to Hopgood. Hopgood with a clearing kick bouncing kick towards the half-forward flank area. Direction of Madsen, but the ball beats him over the boundary line. So effective defence is barking instructions here. David Richardson, the runner, actually Blackwood. I tell you what, they need that Kingston Town miracle at the moment. Shane Collins is
not even Kingston Town's coming back from this one, brother.
Ball's thrown in now. The ruckman do battle again. Roberts this time down to Hamby. Comes to Williams. Oh, clinical off to Mayo, although that's not his best effort on the left. Sits in front of their Nycamp.
Nycamp.
Eckerman, does he fit it in? Not quite. Pistols misses.
Good call,
near
Colo.
side.
They just work for it. It was what they do when they haven't got possession, the other players.
Oh, spot on. That was unbelievable work by Nycamp there. Very happy to see his teammate pick up that ball and run straight in and try and kick the goal rather than get the ball himself.
And they're back to 5 points up there at
game on.
Beef James Park in the grand final. Burwood leading by 5 points, Country Division. We'll bring you updates further as it goes. Ironbank, of course, coming into the game undefeated. So 5-point lead to the Roosters.
Oh, dangerous kick here.
Chasing their first flag since 94.
Mail, geez, doesn't miss those, Pistols. Does not miss those. Dangerous kick from the Woods. I don't mind it. It's the right mindset from here, but yeah, it doesn't come off. It just hasn't been their day so far. Trying times for Blackwood Footy Club here at Echunga, but I don't know. There's still a little bit of footy to be played. Some would say a glimmer, others wouldn't.
Yeah.
You're looking down the front of me.
You're a very optimistic man, Mitchell.
I think so. Full credit to him, though. Look, I really want to see him play the game out really well. Forget the scoreboard now. It's all about a bit of integrity and character as a football club, and they've done a great job to get where they have, but they need to finish on a real positive and a good note.
Well, certainly they've positives. Elimination final last year, which they lost. At least they've advanced to the second last week of finals this year. So some positives there as Bricknell sends the Woods back in. Coming out was Ace. Over the top was Dykesman. Ball does come out to Ace. Quickly gets a high kick with the left. Goes high and it goes longer. Ace camped on it was Yedge. Comes out into Dykesman. Round the corner on the left.
Oh, don't tell me.
Cool bounce. And he had to actually tuck out the back door, which he could have gone to there, Shane
Certainly
Collins, but
did.
chose to
Yeah,
do it
and
himself. But,
young Tuck might be agreeing with you the way he's shaking his head running towards us.
when they come off, you're a hero. When they're not, you looked a little bit embarrassed.
That's it. That was near impossible as they Hahndorf bring it back in. Oh, Cheney tried to scream her on top of Spawn and they go at it at ground level. Cheney
Too
eventually
strong.
wins out. Gives off to Hopgood. Run and carry. Oh, he's run his full measure. Yep. Certainly has. Kicks over to the top to Eckerman. Tuck's quick though. Good 50-50 ball coming up here. Tuck's been very good today. Wow, spins a 360. Now does he find a teammate?
Mauchow.
Anderson, Mauchow, good first hands to it. Anderson, good attack on the footy. Mail, equally as good attack on the player, and we'll have a stalemate half forward here for the Woods. Good passage of play.
That's one of the
Matty
best
Tuck.
individual efforts you can see. Is Colo once again is king of the kits down there. As the ball comes down to Madsen, he's wrapped up by Hocking. Good, Troy Hocking, good,
Yes,
strong,
that's
holding the ball.
footy.
So Troy Hocking wins a free kick off the Hahndorf skipper. So just on the edge of the centre square. So hillsfooty.com. Call it a Wild. Trust you enjoying our coverage worldwide. Get on social media, tell us where you are. And Graham Sinclair up there and oh, a bit more push and shove, because up there Bricknell coming back. He's not happy with Hopgood. In comes Aish. Hurling's in there trying to sort it out. Meanwhile, ball comes across out here to Mail as Cheney still with a bit of push and shove behind play. I tell you what, spot forwards, you keep your eye on that, Mitchie. I'll watch the game.
No worries, mate.
There's our man Jimmy Catford's in there.
Jimmy might have swatted a couple of flies off then, I reckon.
So back
he's
with
in there having
Joel
a go.
Leake. That's it. Graham Sinclair up there, probably in the Opal Tavern up there at Cooper Petey. Trust you enjoying our coverage, Graham. The Pies are doing it pretty well as that there towards the Purling. Goes to ground. Going down like 9 pins over there at the moment, so the umpire will come in and ball it up. It's still a bit of spirit. There might be a bit of difference between the teams on the scoreboard, but still a bit of spirit in the game. Yes, Mitchie?
Marietta Gagan, Matson's grandmother, listening in from Port Augusta. So she says, great call, fellas. So
Mrs. Gagan, well done. Your grandson's playing a boomer.
And we've got Matty Stones, need comforting, pie and sauce and chips and gravy now, game gone. So
I'd sooner be sitting with you, I reckon, mate. Pie and chips and gravy are right down my alley.
You've won, Colo.
Yep, I'm in,
Matty.
mate.
So, free kick for the Pies. High kick was Yench. Very high kick along the wing. Big pack. Ball comes to ground. Port Augusta, pretty nice up there, Mary.
There's a bit on behind play here. Here comes Ace running.
There's
Oh,
our man Jimmy Catford.
Jimmy and Cole Cheney might be just trying to kill a Mozzie, I reckon.
So, ball up. One down by the Woods, bouncing ball. Oh, good work out there by Tucker once again. Comes back into Benson quickly onto the right foot. Puts inside 50. Looming out here is Hopgood. Oh, good play by Dykesman, the skipper. Can he kick one that might give him some incentive? Doesn't come back enough. So they're having a crack as you mentioned, Mitchie Weeks, but they just can't get that scoreboard return.
certainly are Pistols, but as we've spoken about earlier, Hahndorf just get those looks. You know, they get good looks at goal. Even Blackwood are going forward. They just don't have that 30-metre out directly in front shot. It's all snap around the corner as Yench kicks a long ball, 70 out. Matson, ball comes to ground. Mail on a trusty left. He's been carving the middle of the ground all day. Goes the barrel. No one at home. Could this be? Oh, it's a bit of a rough bounce. Babbage and Waldron. Waldron with the height.
Well done, Matty.
Well done. Gives the handball off. Comes out now and we'll find Mo. No, we don't. Dunn's there. Now he's got some pressure.
now there's a
Nykamp.
problem.
Oh, don't tell me. Eckerman.
Oh.
Not quite. Not quite. So nearly tried the miracle, but
I think Mo's come down a little bit
gingerly. He's had a
gingerly.
big day.
Speaking of ginger, big Yarn Warburt's just gone to the rooms for Blackwood. He'll be the body they want out on the ground.
He was going all right then, Mo, but as he came down, I think he was stooged by his ankle when he fell down. So ball comes out here. Hocking in the box seat. Big Daniel Roberts just lumbers over the top with a bigger height, bigger strength. He says, I'll take this. Waste no time. Centres the ball. Couple of Magpies to pick out. Oh, Williams fumbled it. He's got support from Hankin. Gets across to Mo. He loves this. That's his bread and butter.
No
and
problem.
he's added another one, Jaron Mail. So just loves that situation, doesn't he? And that left foot just curling it around.
Yep, this is his time of year, I reckon. Pistols. He's run all day. Good weather. Is he kicked second for
That's
the
his
quarter?
second, consecutive goals for the Pies.
Yep. So good day for him all round. He's certainly been in their best half a dozen, but no one's been lacking for the black and white today.
So 14-8 to 4-4 4. I make it. We just can't see the scoreboard at the moment, but I think that's the tally. As Hahndorf kicked 4-1 here in the second half. Third quarter, now 22 minutes gone, so the Magpies will go in the three-quarter time with perhaps an unassailable lead. Not that it wasn't earlier in the game after that brilliant opening when they kicked 7-5 to 1-1 at quarter time. They led by 40 points, led by 46 at half time, and as I said, pretty comprehensive leaders at the moment. So umpire Tanner sets it up. D. Roberts versus Hopton, who's having a spell in ruck. Quick hands comes out here to Hayden. He's been good, goes back through traffic. Comes out the back door, finds Trent Maher. He caresses the ball out wide. The Maucho, unfortunately, the invisible man involved again, just took his legs from under him. And so the ball out of bounds as big Michael Hamby comes onto the ground column.
The ironic thing, poor old Kane Maucho, I've been thinking of him today. Like, he was dropped Thursday night, back into the side. Obviously looking at a grand final spot. He'd be trying to do everything he possibly can. The poor bugger, to keep his spot for next week, wouldn't he?
The grass too long here. Echunga, he's tripped him up. So free kick comes in. Here's McCready against their man Maucho. He goes to ground. Well done, young fella. Goes to ground. He'll probably get pinged for holding the ball here, Shane. He walked under a ladder last night, I reckon. Poor fellow. But anyway, umpire Tanner will recommence play. Centre wing area right in front. So a bit of ruck grappling there. Roberts got it down. Hamby, a quick kick away for the Pies. Coming out here and taking a defensive mark for them is James Hopton. Haven't seen a lot of him this afternoon. Puts the ball across and finds Bricknell, who have seen a lot of this afternoon, Mitchie.
Certainly have. He hasn't lowered his colours, as he rarely does. So the veteran, he goes inboard, finds Hopton.
That's
good
better.
hands. So that's a good find here. Can they build something? He's just slowing it down, which I'm not sure is the right thing to do, but ends up going long forward. No one at home. And Cheney's going to butter up. Sell some candy. Good pressure, though. Oh, great release kick and composure there from Cheney. Finds Roberts just backward of centre wing for the Pies.
Update Country Division Grand Final. Ironbank up by 7 points in the last term. So, yeah, battle for the flag out there. Meanwhile, ball comes here. Big leap from Ace. Eckerman did the spoiling work. Got it back to Perling, who's jumper held by Catford. Finally kicked clear by Eckerman.
Oh, interesting here in front of us.
Good defensive ball as the ball comes in. Yeah, Leak hobbling off
Joel
there.
Leak hobbling off.
Keep your eye on that. Shane, ball comes out here to Cheney. Gets some space, comes across to Hanby. Hanby in turn's got the run of Mo. Oh, he coughed it up. Under pressure. A good tackle applied by McCarthy. Comes back to the skipper in Matson. Oh, he gave it back to Hanby, who probably didn't really want it, but got a good quick kick away. Running across there was Moore. Coughed it up. Gave it back to a teammate there. And Waldron, he's also under a lot of pressure. In the meantime, yeah, holding the ball, said the umpire. So bit of comedy of errors there, but it resulted in a free kick to Nycamp, I think, in the distance there. Mitchie Weeks, half forward flank areas. Hahndorf go towards the primary school end. Handballs it off to a teammate there as a flying shot. Juggled mark on the line through for a minor score.
So what are your thoughts, boys, then, with obviously your man, Nicky Ingram, trying to force his way back in? Looks like they'll get the job done now. Selection's going to look interesting.
Well, don't forget Troy Parker-Bowes, who should be back after that finger injury. We might ponder that one at three-quarter time as Benson grabs the ball. High kick straight up the ground. Ace sets himself against Matty Roberts. Roberts brings the ball down. Lurking is Perling, gets it back to Cheney. He nurses it across in front of the Dreammaker. Oh, spills off the chin of Trent Mail. Looks like he's got half the oval on the side of his face.
Does. I think that might be obstructing him. That's a couple in a row from Trent, which is uncharacteristic. But, yeah, his face is painted blue from the 50-metre arc.
So the Academy boy right in front of us pitches the ball. Hopton in front, double hands it down, taken by Hanby. Tried the old don't argue, managed to get the ball out to Madsen, who taps the ball in front and finally got out to Eckerman. Clever handball to top the big Dan Robb. Ah, well stolen by Chuck. Great commitment by Chuck once again. Oh, he got to 3 or 4 times. Oh, could that be too high? Yes. Unfortunately, Hopton coming in there and infringing too high.
Oh, that's 50.
Yeah, should have been.
Yeah, it is 50 as it comes back here to the man of the moment, Sam Hill. Goes towards the pocket area. Babbage is the target. Good defensive work by Matty Waldron back in the Woodside this afternoon. Close to boundary line as three-quarter time. Signals the end of the term as Shane Collins departs out to the huddles. Go down shortly to Jaden and Indy, but three-quarter time, 14-9 I make it. We'll just get confirmation. I said, can't see the scoreboard here. To 4-4, I think it is. Mitchie? 14-10, sorry. 14-10 to 4-4 score update here. So another 4-goal forward at term to the Magpies, 1 goal 2 to Blackwood. So just that dominance continuing, Mitchie.
Yeah, not wrong, mate. It's another tick, another box ticked for the Magpies, and they look dominant as they look to run away with this one. So not too much change. We did see a bit of intensity come from the Woods, and they looked, to be physical, much more physical early. Just still lacking some clean footy and some crucial turnovers going on their half-forward line. Just allows the Magpies to rebound, but not much to take out of this one for them now. Let's just hope they get through unscathed and no serious injuries here in the last quarter. And for the Magpies' sake, much the same as they look forward to next week. Fingers crossed they get through unscathed and we have a cracking one next week.
All right, what we might do is go down to, as usual, the boys with all the figures that add up. Jaden and Indy, 3/4 time summary, boys.
Thank you, Pistols. Obviously, Blackwood have been trying to play catch-up for probably the past 2 quarters now. It has worked in some key areas, like they've gone from 1 centre clearance from 1 quarter of football to 9 between the second and third quarter. So I actually think they have improved a little bit with their midfield ferocity, but their tackling numbers are awkwardly really weak for a losing team. Only 44 tackles, which is quite underwhelming compared to what should be expected from a team that's trailing by as much as they are. I also think that their inside 50 entries, while infrequent, don't really account to as much as they would like. So realistically, Blackwood just haven't been getting the composure as spot on today as they did last week. But Jaden, can you give us a bit more details about how Hahndorf has been absolutely dominating at the moment?
Cheers, thanks, Indy. So, 123 kicks, 72 handballs. So, I suppose it's not a massive win in the disposal count today, but they've just been too good around stoppages at times, Hahndorf. In saying that, Blackwood were good around stoppages for the midway through part of that quarter, but Hahndorf just too good at the moment. 43 tackles and 36 marks as well. 41 inside 50, so that's a big area that they've been doing well in also, Hahndorf. And they average a score of 28 in the third quarter, and they got a score of 28 in the third quarter. So there's some consistency for you there, boys, as well. And and Blackwood only usually average 3 goals in the third quarter, and they only got 1 goal. So unfortunately, they just couldn't back up their third quarter scores there today, boys. And hopefully they can, find some positive signs today. Back to you guys.
Hillsfooty.com, powered by HFL Media and Lofty, radio with altitude.
G'day, this is Tony Modra, and there is always plenty of top marks with the coverage of Hills community football here on HFL Media.
Back here in HFL Media, Division 1 preliminary final, and our man Shane Collins ventured out for, the last huddle for one of these sides, possibly Blackwood, Shane?
Yeah. The Hahndorf coaching staff took a while to come out, actually. Matty Golding spending some time over the whiteboard. I reckon they might look at some management this quarter. I don't know if we'll see much of Dan Roberts. We obviously we saw Joel Leake come off late in that quarter. I reckon it could be a hamstring of some sort. Very ginger walking around out there. In the Blackwood huddle, Coach Ryan Anderson, he was very vocal about just making sure they park what they've done in the first 3 quarters. It's 0-0 for this last quarter. Whatever happens in the last 30 minutes happens, but let's show some pride. So it'll be interesting to see how they come out in this last 30 minutes and what transpires. And as I said, that Dan Roberts has gone to the bench for Hahndorf, so he might be done for the day. Just management, I would think.
All right, Mitchie, and of course on social media, we've got Dylan Ware, Thomas Jepp, one of our great mullets. Harrison Rusby and
Matty Stone's note to self, don't wear white when eating a pie with sauce. So he's been good today, Matty.
He's had a bad taste. He's side of trailing by 66 points, and the pie has decided to unload him. And someone's just said the 30 packs run out, mate, so he's in all sorts of strife. Meanwhile, here's a chance as Hahndorf. You hear Shane Collins in the background as they go forward. Nycamp, good spoil there by Dunn. Puts the ball over the boundary line. It's also Charlie Cowan, because Lobe, Harry Graber, cast of thousands here this afternoon.
James Kettle-Neal, he's one of your Lofty Boys pistols.
He is indeed. The big kits.
Mail kicks inside 50, looking for Hill, and he gets him.
Gee, how impressive's Hill been today?
Well, we got you here, Shane. We said 3/4 time we discussed this. The selection, so Troy Parker-Bowers to come back into the side, you suggest if he's available. As you said, Sammy Hill, this man now we're with, has come into the game, done very well. This will be lining up for his 4th goal. That's not a bad performance to be called in. And of course, you mentioned Kane Malcho, so plenty of headaches you suggest at Pine Avenue.
Well, the thing that, just as Hill kicks for goal here and might have missed to the right, has he? Oh,
marked on the
line.
line.
The thing with playing in a grand final, or any final, but certainly a grand final, you need to be as close to 100% fit as possible. Now, when they're in a winning game like today and coming through today, you've nearly got to do 125% to get your spot in front of someone that's fully fit and played well in a prelim. So I'm not sure that you would make too many changes. I mean, obviously the coaching staff know more about the roles that players need to play, but what you see here from today from Hahndorf, you know, they've bounced back really well after that deflating loss last week. Their energy's been great. Everyone's played their part. They'd be very, very unlucky to miss out.
Yeah. Cooper Nycap from Point Black Range putting the first goal of the final term, 90 seconds into play, so the Magpies just stretched their lead to 72 points. That's an even 12 goals, 15-10 to 4-4. Meanwhile, ball pushing forward is a chance for Spawn for the Woodsman. Puts it forward, coming to me, it was Dykesman. Cruel bounce there, I've grabbed it by Ace around the corner. That's clever, as he used good vision there and has picked out the coach in Anderson.
Sorry, you might have spoken about, just while we're talking about injuries and things. Mitchie, you heard anything about young Zato from Lobethal last week? How bad was his injury?
I only heard from him. I sent him a message Saturday night and then followed up again
What
Sunday.
was that? Bring more beer, John?
Yeah, bring more beer.
Because he couldn't, he was on the Ricer principle, obviously.
Yeah, well,
you were all right, though.
He had the ice, I just needed the beer.
Yeah.
As Anderson, he makes no mistake there and puts that one through, so that's good to see for the Woods. Yeah, had an X-ray, so no breaks, Colo.
Yep.
He's just looking at, he was looking at possible ligaments, otherwise just a bad sprain, but the swelling was too much to tell, so I should have touched base with him during the week, but as you said, you want to be going in fit. You'd want to be going in fit.
Yeah.
So I'd say very doubtful.
Is that right? Yeah, yeah. Which would be a shame for him.
Yeah.
He's had a good
Especially
year.
been through the Tigers, difficult
Yes,
Been a servant for that many years, yeah, absolutely.
And he's actually held his spot really well this year and done a really good job. So hope for a miracle for him in the last sort of 7 days. But the good thing is Lobethal got a little bit more depth there now, so I'm sure they'll be able to fill it next week for the GF.
Okay, so back in the centre is boundary umpire O'Leary returns the ball. So we will have another ruck to Matty Roberts, who's been pretty handy, obviously giving Big Daniel a chop out on occasions. Brotherly love there. So Jan Warbert, who's virtually rucked all day, apart from Hopkins a few stits, puts the ball down. Roberts gave it to Madsen, swings out of pack. Wing still hard as tuck. Ball bouncing here, taken by Yench. Cricket pick area, gets a high kick towards half forward. Babbage is the target, got his hands to it. Taken here by Milson, who's recovered from the ankle injury he had before. Comes out here. Toe poke forward by Hankin. Pocket area, it's a foot race. Milson versus Hankin. Well, grabbed by Milson. I think he thought he was running the goal, then realised I got to go at the other end. McCarthy gets involved, gives it back to Milson, so the youngsters combining there.
Done.
Well done, Mo Milson. Nurses up to Hopton. Hopton takes the mark. He needs to get in the game quickly. Puts it across here and finds our man Catford. The fiery Catford goes out wide, plenty of space there for Ace, but chipping down is Evan Johnson, the boy from Sale City in the Gippsland, takes a mark.
Just haven't seen enough of him today either, have we? No. Jeffrey played really well last week.
He chips it out wide to the run of Scotty Bricknell. So I wouldn't seen him kick too many goals this year.
Lovely kick of the footy, or field kick anyway. I haven't seen him in front of goal, as you said, pistols too many times, so it'd be interesting. But chance to string two together here for Blackwood on the back of some really good work from young Mo Milson. So he hasn't lowered his colours either today. He's been
They obviously haven't kicked 2 consecutive goals for the game. In fact, only kicked 2 goals during the second quarter for a period of football. So Brickner, what can he do? High pitch towards the primary school end.
He's got it.
And a few cheers come up. Bricknell, whether that because it's a rare goal for him. But yeah, Blackwood, as you said, fighting it out. Just like the 300 Spartans there at Thermopylae years ago, Mitchie. They're making a stand here, but overpowering odds, I'd suggest.
I'd say so, mate. I would say so. But nevertheless, as Colo said, at three-quarter time, it's great to see footy clubs, proud footy clubs, run out games. They've had a fantastic year, and yeah, hope they can finish off this next 20-odd minutes. We're 5.5 minutes into the last.
Update, talking about last quarters, Ironbank lead by 3 goals early in the final term. The country division grand final out there at Kersbrook. Meanwhile, the ball comes down here. McCready lurking. Oh, good work there by Leake, I think it is at ground level for the Pies. Rocks the ball up. So Ironbank chasing an undefeated premiership in a shortened season. 3 goals up, Shane Collins. So the King Wells and all his men could be happy later tonight.
Big thump forward here from the Woods. Now ball comes down, 50-50 ball. Picked up there by Spawn. Out comes to Benson. Back to Spawn. Handball out to McCarthy. Now he's got a couple of yards, although he's fumbled 2-3 times. Now dives on the footy and does well. Gets it back to Benson, who is under hot pressure there from Mayo, I believe. Ball's wrapped up. And yeah, just been half a step off the pace, unfortunately. That's a little snapshot of their day. 50 metres out from their goal line. Salt goes up. Ball comes down now to the captain, Matson. He kicks forward now. Good contest here. Dunn got a fist forward. Spills to ground level. Williams ends up with a good handball forward there to Babbage. Now to Hankin. Takes a bounce. He's got Mail if he wants him. He says, no, I'll go myself. Kicks forward. Looks pretty good. And it scoots on through. One bounce and no worries there for the Magpies. Once again, a good show there, as Colo said, of forward running, forward position of the ball, and 1, 2, 3 handballs, and you're no chance of catching them.
I read your mind there, Colo. Sam Williams' handball.
Oh, fantastic. He just does those little things that sometimes you don't notice, but when you focus on him and watch him play, he's outstanding. But I just want to go back to Dylan Matson too. A lot of people have sort of said to me he's had a quiet year this year. Gee, he stands up in big games. He's been outstanding today. You know, he'll be looking forward to next week, no doubt, but I think he's been excellent around the stoppages today.
So back in the centre, Salt having a spell and run against the big man Warbert. Ball comes down, taken by McCready on the left. Puts it out towards Catford. He goes, oh, well stolen there. Could have been Johnson, I think.
Yep.
Gets the ball forward, taken by Yench. Will Cheney be lurking? No, he picks out the goat in Perling in the back pocket area. So Scotty Perling. So trust you're enjoying our coverage. The Hills Footy preliminary final brought to you, of course, by our match day sponsors in Solar Wholesalers for Mount Barker, who've given us a great deal. And that summer coming might be the right time, Mitchie, if you're thinking about building a house or whatever, get the solar done.
Absolutely. Support the guys that support us. And
yeah,
I'm in the market for solar. I'll give the boys a call.
Well, why not? Because we'll be back here in action next week. Don't forget, same place, venue, the big dance. As Hopton got his hands to it, coughed it up. Back there is Ma with the Trent variety. He'll come across the ground under pressure, but he coughed up the kick. Whoa. Yes, he has. Here's a chance for Spawn, who just thank you very much. And a rare error in defence has resulted in the goal to Blackwood there, Mitchie.
Yeah, just that kick across goal has to hit. I know it's late in the day. Game probably finished. Well, is finished, but yeah, got to hit those. A few tired legs out there now, which is understandable. So that's probably played its part there. Yeah,
and it comes back, Mitchie, what we were just talking about before. If you're a Hahndorf player, you just wouldn't want to have a sloppy 15, 20 minutes here. There is pressure for spots. If you just made a couple of those silly errors, you just don't want to give the coaching staff any opportunity to think you might be right for next week.
Hi, I'm Tim Jenkin here from the Local Football Club, and you're listening to the Vibe of Hills Football on HFL Media.
Of course, the tractor there, Mitchie, and he's not bad. He just drops in for a chat at half-time, brings his own sting.
He knew what he was doing when he walked past, don't you worry, Pistols.
Meanwhile, ball comes back here to Salt. Benny Salt lifted the eyes, put it up there. Good defensive work there by Jimmy Hopton. There's a foot race between Williams and Hopton. Oh, good handball at ground level by Williams. Gives opportunity for sidestepping Madsen to go long and high. Hayden, sorry, ball comes down there. Good defensive work. Oh, kicking in danger. Yes, he'll go to Liam McCarthy.
Get out of jail there.
So McCarthy deep in the back pocket area. Had a pretty good season, the youngster. Of course, past dual Colts medalist. Tips it up the line to another young former past junior medalist in Benson for the Woods. Benson puts towards the centre, sets for Catford. Oh, he's clean bowled. Cheney accepts the spoils and just picks out a loose man there in Williams, who in turn gets it across here to Jarrett Mayo. And we know what he's like on his left on the around the corner. This will be virtually a shot straight out in front, Shane Collins.
Yeah, that I think Mitchie said before, they just typifies Blackwood's day. That pass there back into the middle's typified their day too. Just 5% off, and Hahndorf just pounce every time.
There he is, Toby Paddy. Good to see, because he was our man last week. A bit critical on Tommy Mayo. He did a very good performance, but the umpire nodding there. So Jarrett Mayo has brought up his third for the afternoon, boys, as Blackwood go further ahead. Makes them 17-10. To 7-4, I make it here on the Solar Wholesaler scoreboard.
Spot on there, Pistols, spot on. So, Yep, another good finish there from Jarrett, and again, our man Sam Williams just giving that one off. He's been in the thick of most things. I'd be surprised if he doesn't feature in their best 5 or 6.
I tell you what, boys, we have a lot of men out there. That's why we're the winning team here on the Call of the Wild, Colo.
Is that right? Very good. I like it. The garage.
The A-team.
Yeah, exactly. The garage door just got lifted and the limousine got parked. Cole Cheney's rested up for the rest of the day too.
Great call, Colo, as Hamby kicks forward with a barrel right to fall forward. Oh, Waldron nearly a hook mark, one-hander, although pinched by Nycam, he did just as well over the shoulder. And well done there by the veteran Bricknell. Marks it on the last line of defence. Now he's going to have to assess his options here.
And our man on the spot, Colo, Michael Pfeiffer. Whoa, behind play here, Leak.
Yeah, the other Leak.
Jacob, yeah. Michael Pfeiffer reporting at the bend. Coulthard has won, LeBrock, then McLaughlin.
Well, that's not what we want to hear.
All your motorsport fans out there on
It'd be a sad few minutes here for the Leak boys. Both of them have come off injured.
Wow.
And
that might solve your selection issues, Colo. That'd be a tragedy for the family.
It would be.
Hopefully not. Hopefully not, boys. Let's just hope that's a stinger. Bit of a corky, but ball goes up. 50 metres out from Hahndorf's goal. Good tap there from the Woods. Now McCarthy gets it on the boot. Just a clearing kick, though. Looks like Eckerman leads the race. He does. Good block there from Hayden. Picks up now Eckerman, assesses what's in front. Gives a handball to Roberts. Back out to Eckerman. Or they make a meal of this. And they swoop the Woods, and they're going to get a stoppage here. So
I tell you what, Blackwood, the sands of time of running out. They've probably got about 10, 15 minutes left. So they're going to put everything in here and just make it that little bit difficult. They won't win on the scoreboard, but just make that physical presence around the contest. So Matt Roberts against Warbett. Ball comes down. McCready there. Leaves it for Milson. So Moster. Fred Strew gets a kick away. Bit of a mung up half forward. Bouncing ball. Mayo will get it there. He's wrapped up by a couple of Woods. Dykesman shoots it out here to Anderson. Goes to the ground. The coach still managed to get a kick away. Glooming out his Ace. Got his hands to it. Hopton. Oh, well crumbed. Gives it back to Ace. Ace has a shot on the run, but it's high, wide and unhandsome and out of bounds on the full. So 13 minutes gone. Yasmin Graber is watching. Maddie Redden, of course, past Gamaraka Premiership player. Emily Edwards. Let you pronounce that one. You're the foreign SBS specialist.
Danchino, pump it up. That's a piss take, surely.
And Nikki Fitzgerald. So, meanwhile, Hayden gets it across here to Yentz. A silky one deep in the back pocket area. Yentz just nurses it up the line. Cheney's off the ground, so I have to kick it to someone else now. I think it's Hopgood with the orange boots out.
Not used to seeing him in a short sleeve either, are we, Pistols?
No, that's right. They're confusing us. So hopefully we'll good forecast for next Saturday. Mitchie Weeks out here. We'll get to that later after the game. Just the build-up will be absolutely fantastic. Be coming on air earlier next week. I think about 1:30 to get a bit of extra pre-match in. So extra work for you, Shane Collins, next week as the ball comes back out here.
Charge it up, Colo.
Mail gave it a hill. Good run down there by Anderson on Mail. Fumble there by Babbage. He's looking for support. Says, I'll do this on my own. No. Just tried a bit too much there, and Bricknell take that. But fantastic chase down on Mail there by the Blackwood coach and Anderson.
Yeah, they're still trying, mate. That's the most evident thing. 2 run-down tackles there, and another one. You got Anderson, the coach, and another veteran, Bricknell, who ran down Babbage, and he gets the spoils here. He kicks wide in the Dunn direction. No, he's ended up finding your man there,
Jimmy Hopton.
Jimmy Hop.
Yep, nurses up the line just in front of us, finds McCarthy.
McCarthy been good this last half too.
Yes, he has.
Found his way into the game.
Actually, he's got some advice from the crowd.
He
actually
has.
looked at some of the Wood supporters.
Bit of candy
to play
too.
on, so
and another one.
Double candy.
Kicks up to the direction of Hopton and Perling. Big fist. Spawn. Snap around the shoulder. He's got Dykes there. There's a couple running onto it here. Looks
Johnson.
like Johnson.
Oh, well done, Malchow.
Hey, man, Malchow.
Another one. Oh, Mail just did well enough to get it to the boundary and...
Was that taking the legs from underneath?
I don't know if
Dykesman?
that's just an exclusive AFL
Look at
rule.
just watching there. 5 of the Hahndorf boys ran all the way back to Kane Malchow for that attack on the footy. That there just might be the tick that gets him picked next week.
Absolutely. The blokes who do the 1%ers. Ball comes out over the top. Taken here by Madsen. Got it back to the goat and Perling. High kick out here. I've shown plenty of courage. It was McCarthy. Didn't mark it at the end. Ball comes in. Here's Milson. Bursting through, finally gets it back here to Tuck. He's been busy all day. Scrubs one forward out towards Hocking. Out there was Salt. Now he's got support from Yench, and Yench just throws it out under the flex. He's been waiting for his Hamby as he ambles along the outer side. He lifts the eyes
pitching
and
wedge.
lifts the kick. Yeah, it's a wedge shot. Oh, well done by Moore. Got Catford support. Does it on his own. Gets it out here towards McCarthy, who he said has been busy. And a raking pass up the wing. He's got a couple of woods. Oh, clean bowled. If it was cricket season, Mitchie, by one of your off spinners was spawned there.
Yeah, two of them actually. Just missed Hopton, then clean bowled Spawn. So, yeah, talking about a snapshot of Blackwood's day, that's about it as the ball's thrown in. Ruckman do battle again. Hopton wins it down now, purling off the deck. Ball's in dispute at ground level here. And the umpire says, I'll sort it out, boys. Let's have another crack.
So 16.5 minutes gone in the final term, and Hahndorf on their way to a grand final, which will be their 6th consecutive grand final, because we spoke pre-match to two guys who've been used to that in the last few years, and Darcy Hurigan and Luke Roberts both won't be out there through employment and also not playing with the club this year. But here's Bricknell, so the Magpies. September is their season.
He could nearly go for home here. He's 80 metres.
So Bricknell already on the goal-kicking list. Big leap there. Comes over the back of the pack. Will it be rushed through? I tell you what, looks like it's Aish. I think Joel Aish.
He's finished.
Has toe poked, so he gets his second of the afternoon. And, well, the 8th for the Blackwood Football Club.
Yep, good play there. Scotty Bricknell's had a massive day. He'll be in their best half a dozen, I'd imagine, and pumping that one forward. And, yeah, Ace just the beneficiary of some, not sloppy work, but just weren't able to mop it up there, the Maggies.
So, Jaden and Indy, just a quick couple of stats. Obviously, Blackwood more inside 50s this quarter than for the last few.
6 inside 50s at the moment. Not too much different to their average for the game, which I think their highest at the moment is 9 inside 50s, which was in the last quarter. So, yeah, had to come back to that and see how this rest of this term plays out. Jaden?
So, yeah, 21 kicks for Hahndorf. Just can't get a kicking game going in the last 5 minutes, but hopefully they can.
Thanks, boys. And, of course, post-match, we'll get all the full summary. And looking forward to, he brings it to the table, the record stats. He brings them every week.
He's very good. Very good.
Man,
lucky
Jaden.
to have him.
So, chipped up the line, and Hamby takes a relatively easy mark. So, the Sting well and truly gone at this game. As you'd expect, it's the Magpies 17-10 leading Blackwood 8-4 in the preliminary final. So, Hahndorf, we said, lining up for number 6 successive premiership, and also chasing a rare 3 successive premierships.
6 successive grand finals, chasing 3 premierships. Yeah, you're right there, Pistols. There's certainly a dominant run. Might be a case of the league against Hahndorf again next year. They don't show any signs of slowing down, do they?
And of course, more importantly, the first time since 1998, and what a memorable game that was. Someone in your household will be able to tell you all about that. That the Hahndorf Magpies and the Lobe Tigers have squared off for the big dance. And of course, the Tigers, as I said, 6 in a row grand final appearances. The Tigers for the first time in 18 years, Mitchie. So sentiment, if it counts for anything. Yeah. Nick Shield is watching, Tyson Reichstein and Jaden Jones have joined our coverage, so trust you're enjoying it.
As the ball comes wide out here to Bricknell, Hamby in pursuit. Bricknell wins out now, he looks forward, he's got Hopton, ball's going to land short. Eckerman's been everywhere, just applied enough pressure now. Purling, rare fumble from him as Spawn comes in, still with pace. He's played a decent game. He can hold his head high. He goes for home. Look at that. That's a good ball. Gee whiz, something to take away.
I tell you what, the birthday boy, Flynn Rogers, the cameraman, would have been right behind it. That could be, well, one of the highlights of the day. A good finish there, Shane Collins, by Spawn.
Yeah, it was. It would have been nice if they were playing a bit like this early, but look, it's a tough time when you're the Hahndorf coach. It's sort of in a cricket game. You'd love to walk up to the opposing captain and say, well, shake hands and we'll call it, won't we? Because the last 10 minutes of a prelim final and you're in the granny, there's nothing worse as a coach, and players are still trying to have a crack, but they don't want to get, you don't want to get injured late in the game, and you don't want to make those mistakes, as we said, but you just got to play it out, which is sometimes when you can get a bit of junk time and they can kick goals like that.
I tell you what, boys, we've actually had 8 goals straight kicked in this quarter, no behind, so punters like attacking football certainly getting, as Colo said, pity it wasn't in the first quarter when Hahndorf kicked 7-1. Here's the Woods go again through McCarthy. Well done as he shrugged off the veteran in Purling, puts towards the forward pocket area. Ace looming, taken by Eckerman. Coughs up, he's got support from Malchow. possible toe poke there. It's close to boundary line. This could break the run of goals. It certainly does, boys. As a minor score over the line for Blackwood. So 21 minutes just about to tick over. Mitchie, Lockie May. G'day, Lockie May, up there in sunny Queensland, I think. Just you enjoying our coverage.
Ball comes into Mail again. Man's been everywhere and just racking up probably close to his 20 to 30th disposal. He kicks over
been
the
good today,
edge.
hasn't he?
He's been really good. So they've just as you said, this is junk time now for the Hahndorf Footy Club. And credit to Blackwood too, because it's not the easiest thing to come down and kick goals, you know, when this happens. It can turn into a real scrap, but they've been okay. It comes to Hayden. He kicks the half forward now. He's got Hamby in a foot race, and he's going to win it, the big fella. He's got Bricknell for company, and they just see it over there, happy enough. So, yep, certainly been Hahndorf's day here at Echunga, and
yeah, well, he's worked his butt off Bricknell, and I suppose questions must be asked. Is this possibly the last time we see him?
Certainly hope not.
No, he's been
Pistols.
and said we lost one of their giants in defence, and Kurt Thompson earlier in the year, first game when he did well, one of your favourite injuries, the ACL.
Yep.
So unfortunately lost Kurt, but hopefully Bricks has got him to go around once again because they need him. They're a good side, as said, improved this year, and certainly they'll be looking to go even better in 2021 when we hopefully, Mitchie, more regular season as the ball comes in. Hankin nurses up the line, taken by Williams. High kick towards centre half forward, and that's a good mark taken by Sammy Hill, one of our men. Of course, he's had a pretty good game. What's he kicked 4 goals for the game?
He's been, and he likes his chances here. I reckon he's got Colo in the back of his head saying, if I can kick 5, there's no way they can leave me out next week. So he's lining up. I don't know if he's got a 55-metre roost, but he's going to give it a go.
My mistake, but 4 goals will be pretty good in the preliminary final. He's gotten close and defensively knocked over the line there for a minor score. 4 goals in the prelim is pretty good, Shane, but not as good as 7 in a...
Oh, well... Exactly. Look, it's interesting. You mentioned about Blackwood there before. Where to now for them? You just, it'll be interesting to see what happens with them with 2021. You know, you look at McCready, you know, Ryan Anderson, you know, Bricknell, those boys. They're not getting any younger, and the future development of some of their young players is really going to be important. So they can't afford to lose anyone.
Yeah, good call, Colos. Benson spreads the ball wide. Now they go to the centre wing. Yench and Catford, and the Cat, no impact there. Yench takes the mark pretty comfortably in the end.
And we had Lee Evans on at half-time. And, of course, one of his teammates, Alan Blue Simons, and his wife, Vanessa, watching down there in Tassie. Trust it's nice down there in sunny Tassie, and you're enjoying the coverage of the Hills Footy preliminary final, and it's going to be Hahndorf marching into the grand final, which you can catch next week, same time,
grab.
And same venue out here at Echunga, as you can hear in the background. A great grab taken by Ryan Dykesman there. So it's just the one for the afternoon, boys. 13, 14 for the season. So, as I said, Blackwood coming home with a very wet sail.
A few boys hands on knees, hands on hips here for the Magpies. It's been a giant effort.
They probably would have a pretty... easy week, you'd suggest, Shane, because they're having to come through. It's been a bit of a tough game. Scoreboard doesn't reflect that, but it's been a bit of a physical contest. As Dykesman set sails, leans back on the kick. The umpire signalling one.
Already, I'm excited for next week, Jeffrey. The Tigers are locked and loaded, and the Pies, here they come. They've regrouped today with as much power and passion as we knew they could, and I'm already looking forward to next week. It's going to be a cracker.
It'll actually be the 4th time they've played off in the Hills Football League A-grade premiership decide. A big leap there by Nike. He didn't bring the ball down. Done, close to the boundary line. Ball comes out here. It's a hot ball. Madsen grabs it, he's tackled. Be the 4th time they've played off, Shane, and of course the Tigers won the last one, and 98, but the previous 2 were won by the Hahndorf Football Club, 97 and 85. Mitchell, so Tigers will be out to ledger, even the ledger, as he say. Bouncing ball, here's Moses Milson. Can he grab the ball? Yes, he does, the youngster. Oh, shows a bit of dash up the line and perfectly picks out Nathan Dunn right in front of the Dreammaker here. On the clubroom side, he chooses to go back across the ball to Sue. Hasn't been as dominant as he has been in the last 2 weeks' finals. Shane comes back here to Dunn. Goes further afield to Milson, who's next to him. So Moses Milson.
Oh, he just looks...
Oh, I tell you what, the boundary line parted for him, not the Red Sea there, as it went across the line. So
25.5 minutes gone, Pistols. Can't be long left. I know we've had the 8 goals this quarter, but... not too much time left until formally the Magpies make the 2020
We've had the
season
supercar
grand
score.
final.
We've had the Echunga table tennis score. We're just waiting on the country division grand final score. You thought our boys out there, Shane, would do the job, but once again they've letting us down. As ball comes out here, the Tuckies never stop going all day. Gets to another man who's been pretty consistent in Brecknell. Drives the Woods forward. Big leap there. Ball comes down. McCready still working hard. Ball comes out here to Madsen, the skipper. Finds space, puts it up at Babbage. 1 bite, 2 bite, follows up nice at ground level, finds space, flicks it out to Salt. Salt gives it to Mayo, if it'll sit nicely for him, grabs it, he'll run into an open goal square and put it on the first tee.
He's like the ever-ready battery, isn't he? He just doesn't stop. He just keeps going and going and going.
4 goals for the game, boys. He's just one of those blokes, just gets on the radar, does the job.
And kicks a good goal too, doesn't he?
He'll be prominent next week, lads. Definitely one to look for. Seen him play well. Correct me if I'm wrong. Is he a BOG in a grand final? I think he is for Hahndorf. One of the first 2.
Won the medal.
So,
one
yeah,
of the
he
earlier
won
ones.
the medal. So he'll be one to look for next week.
So back in the centre. It's now 18-10. 18-10 to 9-7. I make it. As I said, we can't see the scoreboard.
Tuck
here.
out of the middle. Kicks down to Hopton. And also Dygsman. And he wiggles his way out of something. I don't know how, but Hopton with the outside of the boot from about 40 out and doesn't quite make the distance. As Hahndorf get there on the last line. Ball comes out to Hayden, far pocket now. He kicks over up to centre wing now. Brecknell leads the race over Williams and he'll take the mark comfortably. And pushes back off the mark now. Goes inboard. He's got Tuck. Been good all day. One of the few. He goes to Mo, another one that's been good. Tried his heart out. He looks forward, or he's turned it over, and Sammy Hill fittingly drops in and takes the intercept mark. Chips inboard now to Hankin. Just taking the slow play here, the Maggies. Few experienced heads. He switches out to Hayden. Hankin to Hayden. Now he moves on to Eckerman. Takes a mark. Half back flank.
And Shane Collins called it early on. I almost need the floodlights on here, but 28 minutes gone. The final term, I think we'll just get it in. And Magpies 18-11 leading Blackwood 9-5 after dominating 7-5 to 1-1. Quarter time really set up the result as the ball on the outer Flaxley wing, and indeed there it is. The final siren has sounded. So Shane Collins will be making his way out. He'll grab us an interview. But Mitchie 18-11. To 9-5, so comprehensive win. As Big Dart said, 6 goals with a really, what was that, 9 goals? Yeah, so 10, 60 points.
Yeah, impressive, mate. Dominant from the outset. It wasn't as if they Blackwood could get the jump. They just stamped their authority right from word go. So Shane Collins making his way out there. And he's got a special interview down. We can actually go straight out to Colo and the boy from Warwicknapool.
Yeah, thank you, Jeffrey. Just here with Kyle Cheney. Great comeback today, last week, and come out today. Prelim final day really showed Hahndorf's true colours.
Absolutely, and you know, there's no other bigger other than the grand final, a prelim final, to have excuses to come out today is, you know, inexcusable. So we've come out and we've played the Hahndorf way, as you said, and put an impressive scoreline on, which is good.
So after last week, it was a great game of footy, and obviously you just fell short, first time for a long time for the Pies. How did you guys go about that? Would have been a different experience. Did you regroup straight away in positive mode, or did you really evaluate what you may have done wrong and try and build on that?
Oh, we certainly had some learnings from last week, but we remain positive. We've slipped up once in the last 2 years, so to go away from what we know we do really well would be, not a very good mindset sort of thing. So, no, we stuck to what we do really well, and we proved that today.
And I thought the energy early was excellent. It was obviously a focus point, and I heard the coach at quarter time say that you really bring it. But it was really good to see the energy up early, and your young kids around the footy were just outstanding. But, that excitement in that Hahndorf way, that's really a positive for you guys, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's probably the area that we sort of lacked last week. Loberthal come out and hit us in the face early, and it was a bit of a shock. So we probably lacked energy around the ball, especially in the centre clearances. So to come out with that energy and that focus, went a long way to get the result today.
And a player like Young Hill comes into the side, and as we were talking, he could have kicked 5 today. I mean, that's just a fantastic show of depth for your club as well.
Yeah, correct. So obviously our B grade are playing in the final next week as well. So that's a good sign that we're heading in the right direction as a football club, and to get Hilly to come in. Ingram went down late, and we get a replacement to come in and do a really good job like he did. So fantastic for him.
And good to see for you guys. And you and Big Dan Roberts just parked the limousines late, mate. You're just getting ready for next week.
Yeah, mate. Anyone over 30 gets the opportunity to sit on the pine. Me, Dan, and Pearls were sitting there late. So yeah, no risk mentality sort of in that last part of the game.
Good on you, mate. Thanks very much for sparing a couple of minutes for us.
No,
good luck next week. Well done.
Cheers. Thank you.
Yeah, very excited, Kyle Cheney, obviously, as the Hahndorf boys come off the ground. And they're through to that grand final that we spoke about. And as I said, I'm already looking forward to this match. It's going to be a beauty. And hopefully the Leek boys, as we've seen today, the Leek boys were the only two that I seen had any sort of injury concerns there from a Hahndorf point of view. But fingers crossed for them. I'm actually watching one of them go in. Ankles very, very heavily strapped. There, so he might be in a bit of strife with only 7 days out. So hopefully for those boys it's not too bad.
Thank you there to Shane Collins, and great to Kyle Cheney, a favourite boy out of Warracknabill, Mitchie, and as we saw his family watching it the live stream, so no doubt I'll be tuning in next week to see if he can pull off his second premiership victory with Hahndorf boys. As we said, running out pretty comprehensive winners in the end, 18-11 to 9-5 as the Blackwood boys. Shane Collins just, he might be able to grab an interview here with one of the Blackwood boys as they end their season. So just Colo heading out there. And Shane Collins with the coach.
Thanks, Jeffrey. Just quickly here with Blackwood playing coach Ryan Anson. Unfortunate end of the season, mate, but you must be proud of your footy club.
Yeah, we are. We've we've got some good young kids coming through the system. To come from where we were, we had to win and make it. We played some really good footy in the back half. A proud coach of a very proud footy club. So yeah, we're happy.
Yeah, and the development of those kids have been exciting to watch. And, and unfortunately today, young Isaac was missing, and he's been the shining light from our end. That would have been a big hole for you to fill today as well.
Yeah, he's a superstar. He's going to be a really good football player. But not only that, he's a great kid from a great family, which a lot of Blackwood people are. I mean, all Blackwood people are great people, and he's just an exceptional kid. But, he's just one of 10, 12 that we've got coming through the system, so it's very exciting.
Great to win a big final last week after the elimination. So, to finish third on the table is not all bad. A development year for you guys. For yourself, coaching, playing, how's that going for you? Been in it 2 years now. Is that going to continue going forward?
We'll sit down and have a bit of a yarn about it now that the season's finished. I've loved every minute of it. Like I said, they're just a great bunch of kids to coach. They're always listening, always learning. It's just an exciting place to be around. So we'll have a chat later on and see how it goes.
Good on you, mate. Thanks for giving us a bit of your time, and well done. Yeah, as we said, Jeffrey, early in the year when we sat down and went through what the finals might look like, not one of us had Blackwood finishing in the top three. So, they've done a great job to get where they have. So, full credit to Ryan Anderson, his development as a coach, and obviously his coaching staff he has around him. So, that's been a good part of their club, and obviously the few young kids that have come through. We saw another couple of them today that were quite impressive. Young Milsom, who come in today, done a great job across our half back there, and the development of a few of those young kids. River Moore's a good player too. I like his courage and the way he goes about it. He was a bit on and off the bench today, but he shows a lot. Evan Johnson's had a pretty good year for them as a young player as well. So, and of course Liam McCarthy, he's the future engine room for this footy club, and he needs to sort of entrench himself into that midfield group for the next sort of 10 years at Blackwood. So all in all, I think as much as they'd be disappointed today, they can certainly drive home with their head high and look forward to 2021 with much positivity.
Good on you, Shane. Stick around. We'll get a couple of last words from you. But well done grabbing Kyle Cheney and also Ryan Anderson. It was good of him to give us a bit of time. But what we might do now, as we said, pretty comprehensive. 18-11, Hahndorf 9-5 Blackwood. But I suggest also the stats might significantly favour the Magpies. And to find out, we'll go down to, for the last time today, I haven't said it, so we'll get it in. Jordan and Indy.
Thank you very much, Pistols. Well, at full time, I can pretty safely say that Blackwood don't have a score that is befitting of their much better stats. They're actually neck to neck with Hahndorf for kicks and handballs for a good portion of the game. 158 kicks and 82 handballs in total, to be specific. Their marking ability also improved quite a bit as the game progressed with 58 marks and even took a few more inside 50 in that last quarter especially. I think their hitouts were very strong as well. That did at least allow them to get into the contest in the midfield, but it was really their tackling pressure and their inability to win centre clearances that costed them a lot today. They needed to be at full strength to get first full use, and they just couldn't pull that off. And their inside 50 count was also very poor because of this trait. I would also like to point out McCready, who was great for the first half. I didn't see much in that last quarter, but clearly he would have been a little fatigued after the nasty knock he received. In fact, he received 2 nasty knocks, as we saw. And then even Johnson was actually very underwhelming. I don't think he pitched in too much today. And yeah, I guess overall Blackwood can reflect on their season with quite a few positive signs to come out. You know, obviously they've made it to this prelim and they've got some young players coming up for the future, and they've got some peak age guys who are also looking really good at the moment. But yeah, it's ended prematurely today because without the midfield at its best, Blackwood couldn't be at their best either. Jaden, can you give us a little more insight into Hahndorf's performance today?
Level on the disposal count there, so in 51 tackles and 51 marks as well. 50 inside 50, so they were really good in that area. Hahndorf getting the ball inside 50 as well, obviously for 18 goals and 13 hitouts there as well. 10 free kicks for and 9 centre clearances I've got. So look, really strong outfit here from Hahndorf, and look, I think, you know, they were just too good today. They got the kicking game going early in the game, which really put Blackwood on the back foot. And like Indy said earlier in the game, they were just playing chasey football. So unfortunately, Blackwood, they just couldn't, you know, match Hahndorf today. But really good signs from Hahndorf, and they'll be looking to bring that momentum into next week. Here's some record stats here, boys. So Hahndorf broke a 770 day streak for Blackwood winning at Echunga. So they hadn't lost at Echunga for 770 days. So, and also, Hahndorf haven't lost at Echunga since round 4 2015. So, Lobethal will be looking to break that drought next week as well. And so, yeah, it's Hahndorf's actually highest score in a final since 2010 as well. And it's the second highest margin in a preliminary final since 2010 as well. And their second highest margin in a final since 2010 as well. And just the last one here, so it was actually, so last week broke the drought of last time Hahndorf lost the B grade and the A grade. So the last time that happened was round 8 2017, and Echunga and Lobethal teamed up and did that last week. So obviously next week they'll be looking to do that again. So there's the record stats there for you boys.
Well, no doubt about them, Mitchie.
They're bloody good, aren't they?
You know, you probably when you join us, it's great, but you probably, when you're watching the stream, you just sit back and just in admiration of now you got it here firsthand here today. So
very lucky to have them on board, aren't they? Good.
The stats that matter.
Stats are unreal, and
absolutely. Now we'll look at a couple of stats just quickly. Shane Collins has joined us here in the warmth as the sun starts to drift over the horizon, and Shane will be happy to be here. It's a bit warmer, but 18-11 to 9-5 Salt. Chipped in with 4, just nowadays under the radar. Talked about a similar character in Jarrett Marr with 4. Hill, our man, with 3. And Madsen with 2. And for Blackwood, Ace finished with 3. And Spawn with 2. And just an update, Ironbank have won the Country Division A-grade premiership by 39 points over Birdwood. Birdwood obviously made a contest, but in the end, an undefeated side got their reward of going through unconquered. So well done to the Ironbank. Second flag in 3 years. So Stewie Wells, the king, and hopefully Shane will have some Ironbank people on Hills Footy Unplugged, which of course will be Wednesday night. And previously we were going to have it at the Great Eastern, but because of COVID situation we're unable, so it'll just be the normal in-house situation. So we'll have them, and also hopefully get some the leaders from both Hahndorf and Lobethal along, which, as you said, is shaping for a cracking game. So just before we go, Shane, just get your thoughts on today's. Just too big, too strong in the end, and maybe the bear that was poked last week just showed a bit today what they're capable of, Shane.
Yeah, it's easy to, after last week's efforts, it's easy to go, well, Hahndorf might be in trouble, but, they won, 44 in a row for a reason. They're a quality side. And, as we said last week, full credit to Lobie for pulling them apart and getting that victory. And the challenge now is for them to do it twice in 3 weeks. And, Hahndorf, we said they had a bit of a soft end of the season and they just didn't look sharp last week. And that was probably credit to Lobie. But Hahndorf also looked off, and there were some things in that game that were not normal Hahndorf things. So, I would suspect that they'll be a different football side next week. We just spoke before to Timmy Jenkins from Lobethal, and not sort of preempting anything, but, even his comment of, I still can't believe we're there. Well, he needs to hurry up and believe it and actually get more the attitude of we're in it and we're going to win it, type thing. So you just hope they don't come along thinking it's just great we've made it. And I'm sure they won't. But, if they can come out with breathing fire like they did last week, and, there's a big weight for Aidan Riley to lead from in the middle. His presence and power has just been amazing for that football club, and for those players around that can come with him. And the thing that Lobethal brings different that Blackwood didn't today is tall forwards that can mark the ball.
Absolutely.
And that's what was great for Lobethal last week. And even we spoke about the amazing work that Big Jack's done this year, and obviously Dorr coming into the side. And but Fisher had a real quiet game last week. Like, if he can play a bit better, their forward line's only going to be more potent. So
it's a bit of an X factor too, also by the name of Alex Giorgio.
Yeah, and who
would know how to defend? What
a massive asset he will be if he can get back into that side and shore up that back half. And so I'm so looking forward to it already. I think it's going to be a cracking game, and today seeing Hahndorf back into some real good form, which sort of we predicted that might happen. I think it'll be an absolute belter next week.
Well, we got you here, Mitchy, because obviously you would have been the coal face around there on Saturday night. Obviously, the Lobie boys would have been a bit happy. But
he was celebrating the engagement, mate.
But well, during the week. But do you the fact that now they know how to beat them, don't go into your shell. They can actually have set themselves a standard.
Yep. From what I've been hearing and what I'm told, it's great to have those blokes, as Colo said, got into the rooms, celebrate, and there's some great celebrations from the supporters, but it's Aidan Riley was very outspoken, saying, boys, job's not done, there's one more to go. So in regards to that, there's some good experience had with some premiership
a lot of premierships there, but leading on what Shane was talking about, and Timmy Jenkins, and don't get me saying this the wrong way, but in fact disbelieving, saying, oh, gee, what are we doing here? Are we that good? They are good. They beat the side that, it wasn't a fluke.
Well, it's an interesting point. And more to Timmy's point, you've got to remember there's two different levels with what Lobethal have got.
Yeah.
Their experienced group are unmatched nearly in this team. But then you've got the younger, the Bamptons and the Jenkins and those boys, those
Joey
local boys.
Zaddos,
they've been,
through some bad times.
For 5 years, they've been long gone when finals have started. They've been finished. So
they're in Bali.
Yeah, they're in a different level to what the Dawes and the Rileys and those boys will be. So
that's exactly what he's saying when he means that. It's been a rough trot for so long. Being a servant of the club, best and fairest winner, and runner-up male medalist when we haven't been going so good.
Captain
of the club. He's saying, now we're finally here. I can't believe it's happened. They definitely. Oh, look, I know they definitely think they're good enough.
Well, they should have the belief that they can win the big one.
So it's just going to be. It's going to be interesting. You hope that we come out, firing again as we did, last weekend, because Blackwood were out of it, say by the 10-minute mark today. So that's it. The first 10 minutes is going to be a barometer. Don't get me wrong. I think Hahndorf are massive favourites still. And they're going to be tough to beat. So it shapes as a massive first quarter in a big.
If they want to draw a good parallel, Shane, look at Gummeraka last year. Kersburg hadn't lost the game, lost the second semi. Everyone thought, they got them on a bad day because Kersburg won their way through, and they just
did it again.
Gummeraka owned them really in that grand final when you think about it.
And I think that could happen again, to be honest. The one that slipped through the radar, who I thought was fantastic last week, was Voigt in the ruck. He did an amazing job. Now, obviously, Hahndorf now bring Daniel Roberts back in. He's got to find another 10% now to go with him in the ruck. It's so pivotal. You know, his work around the ground last week was outstanding. You know, and he got exposed a little bit when Salt went into the ruck. But now with Hahndorf's structure, Salt doesn't really need to ruck. If the two Roberts boys are playing,
4 goals.
yeah, he just stays forward.
his job, yeah.
So that might work in Loberthall's favour because Voigt looks after the bigger and stronger guys okay. He doesn't want the athletic, you know, gangly players like Salt rocking against him. So it'll be interesting match-up where that starts from in the middle.
We talked about the interesting selections at Pine Avenue this week with injuries, etc. But also at Tigerland out there in the Valley of Praise, you know, you got the likes of Oric who missed out, Kai Turpin,
I've just got
Joe Zatto.
Just got some word through. Yeah, Zad's sent me a message. He said, yeah, good call. He's not looking like getting up. So the foot's still a balloon. So you've got Alex Giorgio to come back in. So it's probably a straight swap. But Jake Oric's had a fantastic year. You got Kai Turpin there and some excellent B graders that are still training. I know that the training numbers haven't dropped off, you know, even though we've only got the ones in the team. So it's definitely up for grabs. It's going to make for an interesting. It'll be very much governed by matchups, I believe. So it's going to be interesting whether the Leak brothers can get out there, who they bring in, and what both coaching groups.
And Shane will be able to say this because last year Onkers being in the grand final for such a long time during the week. Get more people to watch it, particularly on Thursday night, the last training night of the year. And as we discussed before about Lobie, what a great thing it is for the community. Hilda went through earlier in the year. So I reckon the old the Pope's chimney stack there will be, you know, selling the chicken burgers or whatever at training on Thursday night. There'll be cast 1,000 in the Valley of Praise this week.
It's exciting, mate. Don't get me wrong. Yeah. Some people might think we're getting ahead of ourselves, but it's just pure excitement.
Grand final week.
You have to.
Grand final week, you're in it. You know, and you deserve to be there.
And you have to absorb it. You've got to build it up. And, you know, from a player's point of view too, you can't just, you know, as much as people say, oh, it's only another game. No, it's not. And you actually got to elevate and you've got to find and you've got to go that extra, you know, 5 to 10 to 15% to win a premiership. You know, so from a club's point of view, you've got to put the extra effort in. You've got to make the extra things around the place happen so that the players actually feel the responsibility. And I remember, you know, I know it was many, many moons ago, but I'll never forget as an 18-year-old kid playing the Onkers grand final, and was at Loberthal. I left home at Balhanna and I was only 18 and everyone was telling me it's a normal game. Driving through Balhanna and Oakbank and seeing all the balloons and the streamers, I felt sick in my tummy. I felt, wow, I feel like I'm actually representing a region here. Yeah. I'm representing all these people and it just makes you so proud to be in the grand final and playing for the people of your district. And, you know, Loberthal should beat it up for everything it should be and they should be calling from the rooftops for the, you know, from the support, which I'm sure they'll get. And it's, as we said last week after the game, Pistols, it's wonderful for their region to see some smiles on some faces and hopefully they can all get there next week and enjoy what should be a cracking game.
And given that, 2,000 I think will be the attendance level, so get on, there's the what you can go through the
Eventbrite
and
tickets,
and get your tickets. It's, whatever it is, it'll be a packed house here to see the reigning champion take on the brash challenger who knocked them out in a preliminary. So
most improved team in the comp. You predicted Jeffrey being very brave at the start of the year, didn't you?
I reckon the bloke, we have to rewind the tape and see who did predict they're going to play off in the grand final, I think.
Yeah, you did actually.
Batting 1,000 at the moment. Shane.
Actually, I predicted them to play in the grand final. I just didn't predict them to be the most improved team. I thought that was a given. But anyway, they've done well. And full credit to Hahndorf. Let's not overshadow what they've done. Hiccup last week, rebound today. Superbly coached by Matt Golding. He is a very, very good coach. And they know what next week's all about. So it's going to be a beauty. I can't wait.
It's going to be a boom, and you heard all, of course, here on Hills.
Now, what are we doing? What are we doing this week, Pistols? What's happening? I'm hearing a change of plans.
Yeah, Wednesday night we're having the normal Hills Footy Unplugged Wednesday night, but at the normal office.
The normal office.
Rather than out in the. We had hoped to do a live show, but due to the COVID restrictions, and it's just too much.
Would be your shout for pizzas this week,
well,
then I reckon.
Well, it may well be my shout for pizzas. Shane, we can organise that for you, mate. Yeah, you've done a great job. But well, we've got to thank once again Jaden and Ingrid for their good work. To Flynn, the cameraman, of course, birthday boy today. He's done a fantastic. It's a bit rough when you got to work on your birthday, Shane. But
Yeah, it's unreal.
He probably wants to get off and celebrate, just like you, Mitchie. You're probably going to get home and see the bride. So we thank you very much for your
Well
work
done,
this
Mitchie.
afternoon.
Thanks for having me, boys.
Great work, and we'll talk to you next week in the lead up to the grand final. We'll be coming on air early, so we'll get a few pre-match interviews in. So you'll be on board there, mate.
Beautiful.
You can give us all happenings, what's happening during the week at Tigerland.
Absolutely, mate. Looking forward to it.
So, Mitchell Weeks, thank you very much for joining us. And once again, we want to thank our broadcast partners for making this all possible. Sports Interactive, Mortgage Choice, Dartfish, Adelaide Star Buses, Jarrett Nissan, Business Plaza, Chris Shaw Accounting, and of course, our match day sponsor, Solar Wholesalers from Mount Barker. And also thank you once again to the Echunga Football Club, Catherine Ozzel-Lechner and the team for their fantastic assistance and hospitality and helping us bring today's broadcast. So that's it. We wrap up here from Echunga Oval. We'll be back next week. As I said, don't forget Hills Footy Unplugged. The special grand final edition will be up later in the week. And of course, next week from 1:30 on the Saturday, we will be here for the big dance, the end of the season. It's been an interesting season, but the two of the best sides have made it through in Hahndorf and Loberthal. All right, big thank you to Dallas, our producer, a long-suffering producer who we're working overtime, so we'll let him pack up and go home as well. Thanks to everyone on behalf of the team, and as we fade out, the winners here have been Hahndorf, 18-11 have defeated Blackwood 9-5, and congratulations to the Ironbank Football Club, undefeated A-grade premiers as they win by 39 points over the Birdwood Roosters. So that's all for now. Keep on kicking goals until next time we talk. This is Pistol signing off, HFL Media.